All right, should we talk about the team news? So, we have a few changes to the starting lineup compared to the last game against Paris. We have Russo in the 10. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw last season, you know, René Segers and Lesia Russo can play that position. I made a joke and said maybe at some point for England she could play in that position. But she's the type of player that likes to drop in, you know, a little bit deep. I expect when the season starts, you know, it'll be Mariona Caldente, Royton and Georgia Stanway that will play in that 3. Kim Little will also play a massive role. But I think, you know, Frida Mornham's on the bench tonight coming back from injury. She plays in that position usually. But it's about finding the telepathy. I think the performance against Paris at the weekend was really good. But it was just missing that final third play, which happens because a lot of these players, you know, there's a lot of new signings.
Yeah,
Churchy, Baum as well. She looked bright. And I think it's all about kind of building those connections.
Yeah.
So midfield were really good. Back line, but I think in the front line could be a little bit better. And Olivia Smith's goal at the weekend was amazing. It really was. And coming off the back of winning another trophy last night
Honestly,
at the PFAs.
Talking about the PFAs, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
What was it like? How was it?
It was brilliant. Like I love it. And do you know what? Every year, Arsenal bring a massive contingency. I mean, it does help that like half the team are in the team of the year. But like fair play, because not every team sends people. You know, Bruno Fernandes getting the player of the year. I thought it could have been Declan Rice as well.
Me too.
But, you know, it was great to see them all on the stage. And when you see those players with the team lead, you just have to look back in awe, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, Olivia Smith winning again.
Yeah.
I know it divided a few opinions because people were thinking it should be Alyssa Thompson, potentially. She's been great since coming to Chelsea. But I said this year for me, for Olivia Smith, I think it's going to be massive. 5 goals last year. Yeah. And I think this year, because people often talk about her price tag, you know, and you don't need to keep talking about that. Like, let her football
do the
speak.
talking.
Yeah, and I think she's done that.
100%. But what was the actual night like? Give us a little taster. I want to know.
Well, Sophie had expects to perform, and it was amazing.
What did we have? Murder on the Dance Floor?
Yeah, and that I song.
Don't know that one.
I know, I won't sing it because I'm terrible.
I was going to ask you.
But I did feel a bit sorry for her, right? Because they had the performance in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And it's a bit different because when it used to be in London, it used to be like a table setting.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas now, picture you like, it's like you're at the London Palladium, which is lovely. But there's like no one's drinking. So Sophie expects to get up there, everyone's sitting down and like...
She's doing a boozy.
Yeah, and I felt for her because she was getting the crowd going. Everyone was clapping, but like, you can't dance. So yeah, she did brilliantly. There was a lot of people there, you know.
She was at the parade after party as well.
I mean, that song has made a proper comeback in the last couple of years because it was around when I was younger.
Well, it's had a resurgence, hasn't it? So we had quite a few players. We had Emily Fox, Alessia Russo, Mariona Caldente, and Olivia Smith all made it to Team of the Year. Of the year.
Yeah,
that's big.
It is.
It's a big group of us that were in there. Or us, like I'm involved.
And rightfully so. I mean, the team, the fact that they didn't win the league as well, just epitomises how good the individual performance is. People often say to me, do I think this could be Arsenal's year this year? And I genuinely do. I think, you know, with the signings that the club has made, I think they're the type of marquee signings. Yes, there's lost a number of players like Beth Mead and Katie McCabe that are club legends, but I do think the players that have been brought in are excellent signings and a type of signings that I think could take Arsenal, just get them over that line to win the WSL again.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't it be beautiful? It would be. I want to actually ask you, just how important is it when you're a new signing? How important is pre-season?
It is, and I love the fact Georgia Stanway, when we interviewed her after the game on Sunday, she spoke about the club feeling like a family. And I said it, you know, that's how we felt. When I played for this football club, like anyone that came in, even if they were competing for places, they always took you under their wing. You wanted to be with each other, you go for lunch, you're checking in on each other. And I think that's the time where kind of like, you know, I know they went to La Manga, played against Milan over there as well. And that's where the team building is, like the banter off the pitch. You know, if you're happy off the pitch, you take it on the pitch and vice versa. And I feel like the signings, like Georgia Stanway looks like she's been here. You know, it's incredible to think that she's only just got here. She also played for Manchester City, but she looks like normal.
Literally one of
in
her
an
own.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, her tattoo speaks for itself.
I know. Whatever the weather. I think that's what it says, isn't it?
Yeah, I asked her about that at the weekend. I mean, that's a statement.
It is. She also did a tattoo with another Arsenal supporter called Gracie Dogood. They did like a tattoo swap. She's done a lot of Arsenal tattoos since that beautiful day, that beautiful Tuesday. There were a lot of tattoos that she did. And I thought it was really nice to see her, not only, you know, for her signing to connect with the club, but to actually connected with the community of supporters as well. I thought that was really lovely.
It is, and I think it does help as well that like half the Lionesses are here as well. You know, she's good friends with Leah Williamson, Lotta Woodburn-Moy, a number of players, Chloe Kelly, are here. So that does help, you know, when you know, and they're professionals. I mean, having been to many different teams myself, it is quite difficult trying to settle in. So when you're in pre-season, those are those moments where you get to know people, and you are nervous. It doesn't matter like how many games you played. It doesn't matter if you played in World Cups. You do get those nerves, but I feel like, I said, Georgia Stanway was almost like the worst kept secret, wasn't it? Everyone was talking about her coming for about 6 months before she did. So, and I'm delighted she's here.
I'm excited to see the WSL begin and see, you know, how everything actually settles down, because I guess this time for Renee is really about trialing all these different link-ups to see what really is going to work.
Yeah, I mean, Una Battier as well, what a signing she is for Barcelona, and be interesting because I think she'll probably spend most of the season playing in that left-back role because Emily Fox will play on the right. I can't speak highly enough of Emily Fox. I think amazing. She's been the best American to ever come to this league, genuinely. Hasn't skipped a beat, but I think that strength and depth in that position, if they can keep everybody, if we can keep everyone fit and healthy, that is key. Leah Williamson having a strong season, being fit and healthy. Steph Catley being fit and healthy. I know they're playing tonight, which I'm delighted with. Battier's playing as well, which is great. And obviously, Churchy and Baum coming in, new signings, Baum starting again, young player. So, yeah, it's all about finding those connections. But I always think, like, the manager at this point usually knows, you know, when they're recruiting, they don't just recruit like, oh, yeah, we're going to get that player and we'll see how it goes. Like, it's all about these analytics now, the data, all those things, and your eyes don't lie of what you see. So, yeah, I just think it's an exciting time to be an Arsenal fan, and hopefully this year will be the year. But Chelsea will come back stronger. City were fantastic last year, and obviously all those teams are also in the Champions League.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, definitely. I want to ask you, who do you think is staking a claim to get their name on the team sheet for Brighton? What do you reckon?
Potentially, I mean, I think Baum's been good since coming into the team. I mean, Caitlin Ford has been on the bench quite a bit since that sign-in as well, but she's played in a number of games, getting goals as well. In those behind closed doors game against City and Crystal Palace, she got on the score sheet. But I do think the midfield three will be the three that I said, you know, with Marina Caldente, Georgia Stanway. I think they're the type, and they'll be in there. I think Kim Little will play a role, but I do think there's something to be said about leaders. You know, Kim Little, people talk about her age and those things, but age is only a number. Last year, incredible season. I think, obviously, Alessia is going to be in the 9. I know she's playing in the 10 today, but that is her position. But Stina Blackstenius,
love Stina.
Clutch player.
She's amazing.
Goes under the radar quite often and steps up. You know, doesn't really, I mean, let's say don't get the credit she deserves. She does, but who do you leave out? You don't leave Alessia out, do you? Realistically. You know, you have to fight for your spot, but it is difficult.
But do you know what I love about Blackstenius? You know, when she comes on, something dangerous is going to happen.
Absolutely. And fair play to her for signing a new contract, because she probably could have gone other places and started. I mean, most teams she could probably get into the starting 11. So, yeah, and I'm also like, you know, Chloe Kelly's not available again tonight, but I'm looking forward to Chloe having an injury-free season, because we talk about clutch players and moment players. She is that player that will step up. But there's competition for places out wide, no doubt.
It's insane.
I don't want to be.
It is a good problem. I don't want to be Renee. That's all I know. It is tough. Trust me, it is tough. Are there any like standout moments that you come to mind when you think about our pre-season that we've had so far?
Do you know what? The Olivia Smith goal at the weekend. I mean, there wasn't a lot going on in that game with regards to like both the keepers. There was one cleared off the line in the first half, but I do think like Olivia Smith, a lot of people talk about her, and I think those are the moments why you bring in players like that. When people say, oh, it's only pre-season, it doesn't matter. If they would have drawn that game 0-0, people would have been saying, you know, oh, what's going on? You know, it's almost like when Arsenal don't win a game, it's like a devastation. Actually, just a little bit more balance is needed. So I do think, you know, obviously the other games against Crystal Palace and Man City were behind closed doors, but Lisa Baum's doing really well, scoring, looking bright. So, yeah, I do think it's been an exciting time. Obviously, apart from that loss in La Manga to Milan, it's been a good pre-season. And I always say the most important thing about pre-season, staying injury-free, getting through the 90 minutes, building those kind of like minutes.
It is
because
important.
it's different. Training, promise you, training compared to playing is different. It's different.
I can imagine. Just how important would you say this game is for some of these players to, you know, it really influence that starting lineup? Do you think that's going to be on their minds when they're coming out today?
No, I don't, because I do think that you have this quiet confidence about you. I mean, if Leah Williamson and Steph Catley are fit first game of the season, they're going to play. Right, but Lotte Wubben-Moy was excellent last year.
Yeah,
she was one of the best players at Arsenal, but she is always that player that you're not going to leave Leah Williamson and Steph Catley out, are you? So I do think from a player's perspective, you do usually know. Like there's still some places up for grabs, but you usually do know. I mean, Georgia Stanway is going to be a mainstay. She's one of the only players that started every single pre-season and stayed on the pitch to get more minutes. I think Marina Caldente, they need to find her a lot more. The game at the weekend, I said in the second half, find Mariona, because she has that star quality. Like she is, for me, like one of the best players in the world. Genuinely, I love watching her play. She does things that other people can't do. But I don't think it is in. I mean, it's not gonna. It doesn't bode badly if you score a couple of goals in pre-season. Give food for thought to the manager. But realistically, Stina Blackstenius will know that realistically, Alessia Russo's going to play, but you want to push each other. And Alessia is not the type of player that says, "Oh yeah, it's mine." She knows she has to work for it.
I do also think there is something, there's like power in knowing that even if you're not going to start, you know when you come on, you're going to make a change and a difference.
Absolutely.
And, like, you know, sometimes in them games when it's a stalemate, you just need that. You just need that extra edge to come on and create something.
Definitely.
Create something. And you know, I just know Blackstenius is going to do that for us.
Absolutely. We know that in Chloe Kelly as well. But sometimes players can get pigeonholed because when Chloe starts games, she doesn't have the same impact. But then does she, or are we just looking for that? Because we know coming off the bench, she's usually incredible. So, and obviously no Beth Mead now, no Katie McCabe. So not to dwell on the people that are not here, but that's massive leadership. And I think, you know, maybe Reutela, I think she's a brilliant signing, but could be Kim Little starting that first game against Brighton. Could Renee think, actually, we need to go have a little bit more experience in these games? Because as we've seen, Kim Little might be 36, but she's not slowing down.
Listen, Kim, when I clocked Kim's age, I said, what is going on here? It's insane.
I know.
Week in, week out.
Unbelievable. And Kim was here like when I was at the club as well, originally, when she was very young. And she used to fly in with Julie Fleeting from Scotland. And like I remember Vic Akers, who recruited her, was like, she's going to be one of the best players in the world. And we were like, we knew what Vic knew what he was doing. He was an incredible manager.
Had that foresight.
But no one really knew what Kim would go on to do and achieve, even in America, like getting MVPs every single season. And thankfully, she was able to come back to Arsenal. And she is like, you need those types of players that just get the club. Do you know what I mean? Like, that they know the leadership, because there's not many players that won silverware at this football club. And she's one of them.
Yeah, she's got the experience. And I think that is something like, it is exciting to have young players, but when you have someone who's experienced, sometimes if you're going for a title or a tournament, you need those people that are just going to remain level-headed and keep everyone calm.
Yeah, even in the dressing room before the game, the night before the game, like, you know, it's one of those things when you're in the dressing room before a big game, everyone's usually quite quiet. Got the music on. I mean, we can hear the music now.
We can hear it.
I think it's Ant and Deck. Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, is it?
I think it is.
It's very much giving a rock and roll over there.
Just by the Charlton dressing room. But yeah, I mean, I think you just need people that have been there, done that.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said about that, and the confidence that players, like, having Kim in your team makes everybody else better. You know, when you look around and you think, I felt like that way about Kelly Smith. When Kel was on the pitch, we knew, and we had a lot of good players on our team, but we just knew Kelly had that bit special. And I feel like Kim's that player, like Alessia Russo's that player that, you know, and I think Olivia Smith can become that player, that what she did at the weekend, that goal she scored, that's why they brought her in to, you know, when it's tight in games, not to when they're winning games 5-0.
Yeah.
It's about when it really matters.
When it's tough to just get in there and get the job done. I love that. Now, we are not at the Emirates, as I mentioned, but how good is it to be back here?
It's brilliant. It is.
You can hear them.
You can hear them. It's brilliant. And I think this is a really interesting test because Charlton have just been promoted.
Yeah.
You know, and like Karen Hills, as I mentioned, is a top manager. They wanted to be promoted for a long time now. So it's fair play to Charlton for taking on this type of pre-season game because psychologically, you know, if Arsenal go on to win the game comfortably, going into that first game of the season, might not be good for their confidence. They might think, oh, are we really good enough? So fair play to Charlton. You know, fans have turned up as well for them. So yeah, fair play to them for taking on this type of game because it's not going to be easy.
I was going to ask you actually, is there an advantage to playing a team in the same league in pre-season? Like, if you could find an advantage, what do you think it would be?
I don't think so because I think maybe the competitiveness.
Okay.
I don't think you get an advantage. I don't think this will have any kind of effect on the league this year. But if it is one of those games where Arsenal dominate, then it could be psychologically not good for Charlton.
Yeah.
But they're in the WSL now.
Do you think it gives Charlton a chance to see what they're really up against?
I'd say so. Yeah, but then at the same time, Am I thinking Arsenal not peaking yet? They're not 100 miles an hour. You know, you want to just come into this game and do the fundamentals, like building on from last season. What will get Arsenal over the line? Building up play, certain moments, because clearly, it's not saying it wasn't working last year, but City won the league. And if you told me the year before it'd be City that won the league and wasn't Arsenal, I'd be like, no chance. You know, because Chelsea was so dominant for so many years. So, you know, it's not going to be easy this year, but I do think, you know, the fact that we've got teams like Birmingham, Crystal Palace and Charlton coming into the WSL, it's positive.
Yeah, it is positive. It is positive. I'm intrigued to see how it's all going to go down tonight. And as I said before, well, it's taken me back being here. Because I remember when I first got my season ticket, I used to come here, and I live far. I live far from Meadow Park, let me tell you. And being here midweek, under the lights, there is something special about Meadow Park. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's just...
It's an energy thing as well. Energy. Because when I played it, we didn't even have that stand on the other side. And now they've moved the dugout. I said to Cal the other day, I said, oh my God, they've moved the dugout to the other side. You know, to be closer to the media over there. But like the fact that there's so many fans that come out in their numbers, like you can see how excited they were at the game on Sunday. And this is a midweek game. You know, a lot of these fans have travelled far, you know, to come here. But there's something, I think there's something to be said about how close you are to the players and you can hear everything. And having played here, I mean, we won the Champions League here. So for me, there's good energy, there's good memories of being here. And I think a lot of these fans have been here for so many years and they've almost passed it on. They bring their kids now, they bring their families, you know?
100%. So the burger stand doesn't, it's not too much of a bad memory.
No, it's not a bad memory. It's just if you're running around and it's the 70th minute and I'm coming over to take a corner, you get a woof of that burger and hot dog. Oh my goodness. But yeah, listen, it's a great place to be.
It is, it is. I wanted to ask you, I think, I'm probably being biased, but I do think that Arsenal women's supporters, I don't think there's any quite like them in the WSL. I'm going to go as far as to say in the world. I want to ask you, how much of an outpouring of love do you still get on your travels around the world?
Nah, honestly, like the Arsenal fans are incredible to me. Absolutely amazing, like, and I just love the fact that our pictures on the stadium at the Emirates, and someone else sent to me the other day, they put another picture of me. People already get sick of seeing me at the Emirates, and Tim Stillman, one of the guys who works, you know, as a journalist, massive Arsenal fan, he sent it to me, and it's amazing, like, to just see the love that we get. And like, even now, like, when I come here, the fans are lovely to me. And, you know, I can't thank them enough for that. The club do a really good job of keeping people like myself involved, not just with you here, but like invited to the games, going into hospitality, you know, coming and going on the big screen before the game, like, and the banter, because obviously I support Man United men, but the women's team is Arsenal, my women's team, and I love the banter because the fans know I love the club, and even people on socials, like, sometimes they come and protect me because some people say, oh, he supports Man United. Well, no, I support Arsenal women. And I cried when we won the Champions League. I was like so emotional because I remember what that felt like when we did it. So for Arsenal to do it again, oh my goodness, like, it was amazing. So I want Arsenal to do well. I love this club. I spent 15 amazing years at this club. Was here since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
So, you know, and Vic Akers scouted me, came to the first team when I was 14. But yeah, I can't thank the club enough for everything they've done for me and continue to do.
It is lovely. And I was in Denver over the weekend working on something with Arsenal, and it is funny how many times you meet people who might support a different men's club, but Arsenal women is their club. Like that, I hear that story so often, and you know, it was amazing. Like, there was this girl from Kansas, and she was like, I support Arsenal women. I've supported them for like 12 years. And it's just eye-opening. Like, I'm always pleasantly surprised by how much support we really have.
Do you know what, though? It's funny because I was with Mr. David Dean last night, and I saw him at the PFA, and he founded the club in 1987. And like, this has been built for so many years. So when people say to me, why do Arsenal, how do they sell out the Emirates? I'm like, it took a long time to get to that point, because Chelsea obviously play at Stamford Bridge. They don't get, and this is no slight on them, but they don't get sold out, but it takes a while to build. And even when Chelsea were the best team and were winning everything, they still couldn't sell out. They definitely need, I'm happy that Chelsea have moved there, kind of all their home games this season. I think it's a positive step. But this Arsenal has been built since 1987. So it's not a coincidence. And our pictures were in the club shop. You know, I was sponsored by Thierry Henry, then Dennis Bergkamp. We take pictures. So the familiarity with the fans with us, like, they loved us because we were winning sometimes when the men weren't. We wanted the men to win, because we wanted to go on the parade. You know, like, I remember 98 and 2004, it was brilliant. Like, listen, and like, so amazing memories. And I feel like this team, I mean, this could be the year. People keep saying, are the girls going to win the WSL this season? I'm like, I hope so. It won't be easy, but with the signings, I definitely think they can.
Listen, it's never easy. It's never easy, but that's what makes it worthwhile, I reckon. I want to ask you just a quick little question. What's your, like, craziest pre-season memory? Tell me.
Ooh, craziest pre-season memory. I was actually talking about it the other day. We used to do pre-season at a school in, like, Potter's Bar, so not too far from here. And Vic used to be in the middle with a whistle, and we'd have to make it. Every single, like, he'd put a pole down a cone, and we'd just have to make it. Continuously running.
Like bleep test?
Yeah, kind of, but like every single point of the like, do you know what I mean? So we'd have where the corner flag is, then 20 yards, then 20 yards, but you just continuously run for like 20 minutes. You have to make between 7 seconds.
So are you running from one to the next, then back, then one to the next, then back?
Yeah. No, it's like continuous.
All the way. Okay.
And people might not know this, we used to train at Highbury, and we used to run every step at that stadium. For pre-season, and we used to do horseshoes around Highbury, the outside of the pitch, and we used to dread Thursday nights. But thankfully now, I think times have moved on.
Yeah.
And also, you don't come into pre-season unfit. Okay. You're continuously, and I was at the back end of that. Like, I never took days off. Even when I went on holiday, I'd be thinking, where can I go for a run?
Yeah.
Whereas before, you used to be like, oh, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off.
Put my feet up.
Yeah, and then I'll get fit when I'm in pre-season. When actually now, they don't really get a break.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that because Chloe Kelly, I saw on her Instagram quite a lot. She was doing a lot of pre-season training, and it looked like it was on her holidays. So yeah, it is true what you say about the commitment to staying fit throughout.
Yeah, and also recovery, taking that break, because a lot of these players, like, they've gone Euros, they've gone World Cups, they've gone back-to-back tournaments. So I think, do you know what's quite good? A lot of them have had a break.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's not been a tournament they've played in this summer. So they've been able to take that break. Hopefully, will limit the amount of injuries, not just with Arsenal, but in general. Do you know what I mean? Because you do need a break sometimes.
You do,
to consistently
100%.
Play at that level and perform to those levels, it's difficult.
It is difficult. I can't even imagine doing it, personally.
I don't know how I used to. No, genuinely. Like, now I'm like, wow. Like, the fitness you have to be a footballer, it's no joke.
Yeah.
Like, you can run on the treadmill and you can go for runs, but the levels that these players have,
it's no joke.
Different level.
I can't even imagine.
I couldn't imagine doing it now.
I think you could do it.
Nah. I've still got my touch, but no one needs to see me running.
Okay. That is so funny. To be fair, I started playing football for the first time like 2 years ago. Let me tell you.
Really? Like 7-a-side or 11?
It varies depending on how many of us turn up.
7-a-side's hard.
It's fun. It's great
tiring.
fun, but it is tough. It is proper tough, especially if you then play in a cage.
Lord. Oh, I love that, though.
Cage football.
We used to play at Highbury in a JVC centre, off the wall. Oh, the best. That was, do you know what?
Wow,
when we won
sick.
everything, we literally used to play all the time.
All the
Five-a-side, non-stop. We loved it.
It's good fun.
Yeah.
It is good fun, but yeah, it does.
Really competitive. Like, we'd all want to, like, you know,
it gets
proper, but then
scrappy as
afterwards
well.
afterwards you laugh about it. But when you're on that pitch and it's five-a-side, it's all in.
It is intense. It is intense. All right, well, I think that is pretty much all from us. We had a lovely chat. We will be back at half-time. Oh, it's not quite all from us.
You know what was funny at the weekend? We did our predictions and we both said 3-1.
Okay, go on.
It ended up 1-0.
Give us a prediction.
And then we tried to blag it and say we said 1-0. We were joking, though. I'm thinking Arsenal 3-0.
Okay.
I'm feeling it tonight. I think this could be Arsenal's night.
I'm going to go Arsenal 4-0.
Ooh. And that's no slight in Charlton, but I just think, you know, this is one of the biggest tests they're going to have. And I think Renee Segers will try to kind of stamp down that authority early doors, especially because they're a WSL side as well.
Yeah. It's going to be, I think it's going to be quite lively, to be honest.
Sounds it.
Yeah. I need to learn the new chants, honestly, because we've got, I don't even know how many extra chants I need to learn. It's a lot.
Get yourself in there then.
I need to learn the extra men's chants, I need a book. I need to make a little booklet with all of them written down.
I reckon you should go in there.
Listen, I used to stand down there.
I love it.
A while ago.
I love being with the fans.
So you want me, are you setting me a challenge?
I am. To
go
come
and
back, learn a new song, and at half-time, we're going to sing it.
Okay.
You're going to sing it.
I am going to try that. But that is actually all from us now. And we are leaving you with our commentators, Max Jones and Louise Quinn. See you later.
Thank you very much, Nakeira, and to Lianne as well. As you can hear, the atmosphere really building inside Meadow Park this evening as Arsenal awaits their second pre-season friendly in front of fans. It will be their final one ahead of the new campaign starting. And of course, 3 days ago, the Gunners were pushed all the way by Pires FC. Today, they are back under the Meadow Park lights and facing a familiar foe from their past. It is Arsenal against Charlton Athletic. And at the turn of the century, this was the rivalry. 2 FA Cup finals, countless battles at the summits of the old Women's Premier League. 2 of the defining forces in the English game, fighting for both silverware and supremacy. But then, of course, in 2007, everything changed. Charlton's men were relegated from the Premier League. Their women's side became the controversial casualty. For nearly 2 decades, the Addicts have fought their way back. And last season, they finally broke through, becoming the first club promoted to the WSL via the new playoff system. Well, René Slagers makes 4 changes to the side that started against Pires FC on Sunday. Ona Battier comes in for her first Meadow Park appearance, with Steph Catley also reinstated to the back line. Alessia Russo's inclusion at number 10 sees Mariona deployed on the left, supporting Stina Blackstenius up front. Frida Mornham is back on the bench after recovering from a knock. Chloe Kelly remains absent through illness. Well, we've got a new defender to assess on the pitch for Arsenal and a former one in the commentary booth with us this evening. I am delighted to welcome Louise Quinn back to Arsenal this evening. And Louise, you are very excited to see what Ona Battier can do to this group.
Yeah, incredible. What a brilliant signing for Arsenal. We've really had to, losing McCabe coming through. I think, again, that expertise, international experience, just coming from Barcelona, and she's, for me, she adds everything. Obviously defensively super tenacious, but she loves to get forward, she loves to join the attack, can really add in assists in that way as well. So I think, again, she'll start joining in that midfield. She'll go inside, outside, and for me it's what a star signing.
Well, Charlton have understandably reinforced this summer ahead of their top flight return. Ashley Neville and Emily Van Egmond both lost last season's promotion playoff with Leicester City, but joined the winning side less than 2 months later. And Ciara Flannery committed her long-term future to the club after a loan stint here last term. Anna Koivunen, Grace Johnson and Leah Davidson are the other summer recruits. They joined former gunner Carla Humphrey on the bench. Sophie Dennington is this evening's referee, and she is about to welcome both captains to the centre circle. It has been 18 years since Kim Little made her Arsenal debut, but incredibly this season will be the first in which she faces Charlton Athletic in the top flight. As we see Ona Battier already enjoying the Meadow Park atmosphere there. Louise, you'd have played in front of this very vocal support on a number of occasions for Arsenal. Just what will be going through her mind now?
Yeah, I think this is, for her, she's definitely wanted to get in front of the fans. I think first game in front of them, we get to see, obviously she is a very familiar foe in terms of when she played for United, obviously Barcelona, but again, for her, this is the excitement, and Boreham Wood has that atmosphere. Really tight, really compact. We know the fans are going to come out, and yeah, for me, it'll just be really exciting to see how she slots into this left back position.
So then, one final chance to test, tweak and learn ahead of Brighton and Hove Albion in 11 days' time. Louise Quinn, you'd have been in this situation in pre-season many times before. Percentage-wise, where will Arsenal hope to be in their level of preparedness by full-time?
Yeah, listen, I think this game, it really is about, they're playing a newly promoted Charlton. It's going to be, likely to be quite a low block. And I think, as we saw from last season's, previous seasons, that's where maybe Arsenal struggle. It's where a lot of teams struggle. Low block, how can you move? How can you, you know, shift these Charlton players out of position. But for me, I think it will be, you know, again, so that kind of mental battle, patience, how well can they, you know, can Arsenal be on the ball? But yeah, listen, everyone's looking for a shirt now, and you can see, you know, an extremely strong starting 11, and then, you know, you look to the bench and you're kind of like, okay, we have a lot of replacements here. We have anyone who can come in, change the game, and yeah, so it's really for them now. It's about starting, you know, getting that starting 11 position.
First couple of touches here for Battier, who's been invited forwards. As Louise mentioned, more than happy to drift infield into those positions, especially when making those adventurous runs forwards.
She has Mariona on that left-hand side with her as well today, so that, you know, Spanish connection. You know, teammates, I'm sure the link-up play coming down that side will be really strong. Obviously, we're used to seeing Mariona more centrally, but again, I think giving her that width, she'll also be able to be a lot of, you know, a playmaker, drag players out, and hopefully kind of create some more space centrally. You know, for Russo and for Stanway making those late runs.
Here is Stanway. Valente back into the path of Kim Little. Here is Mila Holmberg hugging this touchline, as she often does. Desperately trying to reach the byline. It's a good challenge by Ellie Mason.
Yes, there can Baum, who's just come in. I think, you know, for me, she's had a brilliant start to pre-season, is really fitting into that right wing position, picks up really good spaces, likes to cut in on her left foot, but if she can give Holmberg that space down the wing, she loves to just be really direct, run at players, get balls in the box, and then it's about runners then for Arsenal.
Stanway for Caldente. Stanway again, options in the middle. Russo was trying to get away. It's Endow who can clear the lines for Charlton. And now they can look to break forward themselves, although Siebert unable to get on the end of that one. Excellently picked out here, Lisa Bow. Arsenal still on the attack with Holmberg. It's a lovely one touch to find her again, but once more Charlton really packing that penalty area, making it very difficult for Arsenal, even when they do get into those advanced positions.
Yeah, they are, but you could see there are gaps there. Nice, very nice, tidy little 1-2s on this right-hand side. Baum, Holmberg. I think then, you know, Charlton, they really need to, for them, this is a massive, you know, defensive game. How can they stay solid? Can they keep the units together? But at the moment, Arsenal, they're getting in beyond them, they're getting behind shoulders, and now it's just that final ball.
The patterns of play at the moment suggest this may well be attack versus defence this evening. Something a bit different there from Georgia Stanway, and Partido can bring this one away on loan from London City Lionesses. Fitzgerald back for Mason. It's out by Williamson. Jodie Hutton was on her case very quickly, but the offside flag was up.
Arsenal, they're definitely trying to get a lot of overload. Stanway dropping deep, kind of coming in between the two centre backs, which is allowing the full backs to press on and also come, you know, inside the pitch. With Batia coming up so high, it's allowing Mariona to come centrally inside the pitch and again just create those overloads. They've just got to move the ball quickly, Arsenal, if they need to shift. You know, this is a solid back five, kind of 5-3-2 or 5-2-3, and yeah, but there is these spaces in the wide areas.
Caldente looking to exploit that now up against Partido. Two Spaniards jostling over on that far side, and Partido can clear. slightly overhit by Williamson. It is important that Arsenal do play against teams like this, as you mentioned earlier, Louise, and there were a number of occasions last season where Arsenal really did need to turn those draws and those deadlocks into an opening goal. It was especially against these types of sides where they struggle to pick the lock as a speculative effort comes in from distance, but Lisa Rodriguez, just as she was against Pires FC, remains untroubled.
I think you know what is required of you in these games, and it's about moving the ball quickly, and it's, you finish these games, and hindsight is absolutely brilliant, and you look at the clips and you can't understand why it's cleanly not coming off, but it's just about that patience, a little bit of individual quality where they can.
Holmberg against Mason again. '19-year-old finding Williamson. Here's Steph Catley. There are actually questions over whether the Australian may indeed return to her, I suppose, more natural position at left back, although can we even say that anymore? She's been so at home at centre back.
Versatility, as we saw the other day. Pires FC, Emily Fox was taking up that left back position, Holmberg on the right. Catley can do that, but it just gives them a lot of fluidity as well. It allows full-backs to go. Catley can then swing around naturally into that left-sided defensive position. Yeah, for me it just gives that fluidity as well, especially just in that back line where we can switch and bring players in and out, and they can do such a good job in those positions. But yeah, for me, I think it is centre back now for Steph Catley. I think competition in wide areas is fierce as well.
Interesting as well, because then you start thinking about who your centre-back pairing is going to be on the opening day. Lotte Wubben-Moy barely put a foot wrong last season when she was deputising for either one of the two starting centre-backs for Arsenal this evening. She was imperious against Pires FC on Sunday as well. Ultimately, someone is going to be disappointed, but that is what it takes to be at a top-level club like Arsenal. Constantly pushing each other to improve and deliver the best for the team. Russo holding the ball up. And had Little in there for support. Here is Steph Catley.
It's important now to be clinical. Charlton have stepped up the pitch. They've opened up a little bit now. How fast can we go forward? Can Arsenal be direct, in their play?
Space here for Battier. Blackstenius, the only option inside the penalty area. Russo now joining. Arsenal will have their first corner of the game. So forward comes Leah Williamson. Georgia Stanway is going to be the nuisance just in front of the Charlton Athletic goalkeeper Sophie Whitehouse as Arsenal go short. Here's Caldente. All it needed was a touch on its way through.
Yeah, really dangerous ball. Taken quickly, taken short. Again, Caldente just putting it into such a dangerous area. She's just looking for a touch there. She sees a gap. She's doing both there. I need to put in a dangerous ball, but this can go back post easily.
One of three Arsenal players, of course, who were named in the PFA Team of the Season at last night's ceremony in Manchester. Three players apiece from Manchester City, Arsenal and Chelsea. Only two players involved from outside the top three. Manchester United's Jess Park and Spurs' Toko Koga. Of course, more good news for Arsenal in the form of Olivia Smith retaining her crown as the young player of the season. Lisa Bow.
Yeah, I was there at the awards last night, and again, Olivia Smith, she's just, you know, she sounds so raring to go. She's so confident in her own ability, and it comes across in her play so much. You know, she's so direct. We saw that goal, what a finish against Pires FC the other day, but she just knows how to pull it out, and what a well-deserved award for her, 2 years in a row.
Lovely clip of her dad celebrating with her as well on social media today. Holmberg, deep delivery. Russo was underneath it. There's Baum, and that one straight at Sophie Whitehouse.
Yeah, really well clipped ball into the back post. It's where can you win second balls. It drops nicely down to Baum. It's a little bit, you know, on the kind of half volley. She was coming at it with her favoured left foot, just couldn't get that connection. Sophie Whitehouse does well to cover and clean it up. But again, that's, yeah, here's our first chance that we've had.
Goals, of course, behind closed doors against Crystal Palace and Manchester City for Lisa Baum. It means so much more, though, in front of the Arsenal fan base. Caldente given the licence to roam. Nice quick feet there by Georgia Stanway. Holmberg can cross again, and it was good communication required. Sophie Whitehouse taking control once more. A goalkeeper who flew into the headlines, didn't she, following the playoff win. 4 penalty saves in a single shootout. Quite incredible stuff.
I just think the game, you know, in general, it was under very difficult circumstances, especially for Charlton, you know, losing on the last day of the season to Birmingham City, losing out on the title, having to play in the playoff 3 weeks later. You know, you could see the game, it was a tired game, but Sophie coming in, Irish international, 4 penalty saves.
I thought you'd claim that one.
Of course.
Here's Battier forcing a throw in from Ashley Neville. One of the 2 players that was on the losing side, of course, before switching allegiances this summer. Emily Van Egmond, the other. He must be approaching about 20 professional clubs now, Emily Van Egmond. She's travelled all over. She does add crucial WSL experience to a side who desperately need it as they fight for survival in this coming season. Battier unable to get on the end of the return pass from Stina Blackstenius. Stanway given the chance to turn and bring Little into play too. Baum. He sends it out wide. Here's Mariona Caldente. It's not having to be patient in their approach. Every Charlton player back behind the ball.
Arsenal to move it slightly quicker. You can see gaps are just appearing in between, you know, centre back, full back. Charlton are doing, listen, they're doing a very good job in terms of swinging around, getting together, but there's moments where it just needs to be pass, and then that straight ball through. You know, we have runners, Blackstenius, Russo, we know Stanway wants to do it, and it's It's just there for me. Just get it wider a little bit quicker, and then patience. But again, it's a lot easier looking from here, seeing it on the screen, and trying to translate that to the pitch. But in terms of ball possession, it has still been very, very good for Arsenal so far. You can see Stanway, she's really, really good at getting in those pockets of space off the back shoulder. And it's allowing then Kim Little, you can see Mariona is coming in centrally a lot as well, and that rotation is really, really good.
Well, of course, times last season where Arsenal was so dependent on the little Caldente axis, and that extra bit of dynamism, the extra bit of unpredictability that perhaps Georgia Stanway can offer in the centre of the pitch. It's never going to be a bad thing. Here she is now, picking up a bit of space on the edge of the penalty area. Very quickly closed down, but Arsenal have it back under their spell. At the moment, this is feeling like nothing more than a fitness drill for these Charlton players. Really struggling to get any sort of foothold on the game. Stanway. Bergkamp up against Mason. He's able to dig out the cross, but Stenius was underneath it, and Fitzgerald will be able to hook that one to safety.
Again, it's just that time where you can see Holmberg. She's very good at getting to that end line. She has to clip the ball in that moment. There's too many bodies at the moment for a little driven ball, unless she gets a lot closer to the goal and end line for a pullback.
That one's been easily picked up in midfield, and again it's an ambitious, audacious attempt from inside Charlton's half, and I suppose maybe this is where fatigue creeps in, even though we are just 18 minutes into this first half.
Yeah, listen, it's pre-season, why not try it? But again, inside her own half, very, very ambitious.
Stenius unable to the right side of Kira Skills.
Charlton, they'll take confidence from this from them. It's going to be about going through the stages. 20 minutes in, half time. Can they keep a clean sheet? Are they working well in their system? This is going to be a lot of games for them like this season. You can really, as much as you do not have the ball, these sort of performances can really up team spirits if you can keep teams out.
They have just returned from pre-season training camp in Cadiz in Spain, as they were able to integrate their new signings. It was out there that they only lost by 1-0 against Atletico Madrid. So again, another confidence booster ahead of the new campaign. It's these moments here when they are in possession, they can hope to offer a bit more, and they've done a bit better this time. Jodie Hutton it was drawing the foul on the halfway line.
Yeah, just played it past Williamson there. Williamson, she kind of had to jump in and go. She knew she had the cover behind, but do have to be careful in those moments. But again, this is where Charlton will want the ball, I think, for sides coming up, and really, really important in terms of when they get the ball up here. Can they keep it? Can they get set pieces? Can they, from throw-ins, make sure they're keeping possession of the ball, take a little breather?
For the first time this evening, the majority of their players are inside the Arsenal half. There's Mason, pursued by Bow. Stuck to her defensive duties.
Yeah, Arsenal taking no risks, important. The team all come around, defensively working Bow, making sure she's getting back in, following her full back to the end line, does really, really well, using her body, pushing Mason over the end line.
It's cut out by Neville. Westmaas player, of course. Tito didn't really have too many places to go to there, but she did well to force the throw in. Another player who's had an interesting career, Paolo Partido. Through the Real Madrid Academy, had 2 loans at Celtic before ending up at London City Lionesses, and then of course Charlton for this season. Still just 21 years old. She's a bit of a live wire over on that far side, although we've not seen too much of it just yet.
It helps when you have that cover in behind you. Ashley Neville, wealth of experience. Kind of gives you a little bit of free rein on that right wing to know that she'll have their back in that moment.
Charlton being a bit more aggressive in their pressing. And maybe this is where they settle into the game that bit more as we approach the midway point of this first half. Filled by skills, but it's going to be the end of Charlton's more sustained period of possession. Battier. Tito matching her every step of the way. So does Neville. Seba out for Partido. Tide just starting to turn ever so slightly.
I think so. It's gotten to the 20-minute mark, and Charlton, they've built that confidence, keeping it at 0-0. It's obviously been Arsenal in terms of possession, just haven't created many chances yet. So for me, Charlton are doing exactly what they want to do, building their way up the pitch, starting the press slightly higher, transitioning a little bit quicker. So now it's what Arsenal can do.
Lack of communication. This will be a big chance, and it's one that they're able to dispatch to. Lucy Fitzgerald pouncing inside the penalty area, and against the run of play, Charlton lead by 1-0.
That's it for the last 4 minutes. It has literally been since the 20-minute mark. Charlton have been upping it, being a lot more savvy in possession, using the ball well, but it's just a massive mix-up in communication. Williamson didn't know whether to run onto it. Catley didn't run back to fill that gap. And here we go. This will be Charlton's game for this season. Can they pounce on errors? Can they be in the right place at the right time? Again, massively against the run of play. Again, well done, well finished, cool and composed.
Well, this suits them, doesn't it? Because we know from last season in the WSL2 when they did finish third, although they didn't score too many goals, in fact they scored the fewest of the top 6 teams in the division. They did keep the joint most clean sheets, conceded the fewest goals in the second tier, and no club saved as high a percentage of their shots on target faced. And within that, Sophie Whitehouse played every single minute, so I think she will be well versed in being tested for the remainder of this game. Baum finding Kim Little as Arsenal seek an immediate route back into this game. Catley for Battier. Cross collected by Russo. Stanway riding the first challenge and then going to ground. Nothing given by Sophie Dennington, the referee.
I thought she could have just let fire there slightly earlier, took one extra touch. Stanway.
Holmberg's ball in. It was Caldente with a free header, but lacked the power to truly trouble Whitehouse.
Yeah, Marionish again, just a little bit from a standing position. Decent ball from Holmberg again. She's been doing that regularly, but it's about, can you get that run onto it, create some power.
Here's Baum. Picked up by Van Egmond, the creator of Charlton's opener, but she's gifted that one straight back to Arsenal. Blackstenius, Battier. Russo was lurking with intent on the edge of the penalty area. That one needed to be cut out and was.
Again, just that final pass. Blackstenius does well, but put it a little bit more in front of her, so she only has to take one touch. Pull back, the runners were there.
Little for Battier. Caldente for Stanway. Away from Partido, Stanway goes for goal, and that one's going to be hacked to safety by Ashley Neville.
Again, Stanway, she's doing really well, creating her own space. We know what she's like, you know, on outside of that box. We know she can really let them fly. A lot of bodies she has to break through, but you can see Arsenal, they've upped the tempo just slightly.
Caldente. Russo forced away from goal, buying down, but she did manage to find a teammate. And that one taken right off the boot of Blackstenius.
Yeah, very good last ditch defending from Skeels, I think. But again, Charlton are a little bit more open, so it's a good opportunity now for Arsenal before the half. Really tidy feet from Blackstenius, but Skeels does brilliantly to stay on her toes, slide in.
Partido. Now Neville. Gloria Siebert gives chase, beaten to it though by Leah Williamson. Neville's long throw. Letting the recipient, although she couldn't find a teammate, so Arsenal will be able to clear. Mason will retrieve. Battling by Holmberg. Baum looks to be set away there, only for Vieira skills to come across and cover. Holmberg. Back with Stanway. Again, Lisa Baum quite happy to leave Smila Holmberg out on that right wing. Stanway hooks in the cross and Dow doesn't clear it at the first time of asking. And Charlton can breathe a sigh of relief. Pretty messy back there, but they are able to scramble it clear. It's going to come straight back their way though. You
can see it's just reaction times now in the box. Deliveries as much space maybe as there isn't. You can see Charlton aren't getting their touches right.
Baum away from her marker and then rifled wide of the goal. Georgia Stanway perhaps losing her footing as she prepared to take the shot. Another encouraging glimpse though of what Lisa Baum can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Tight spaces, relentless runner. Didn't get the cleanest of strikes, but Stanway, she'll be disappointed. Usually in front of goal, she knows, you know, her abilities will always hit the target. As you say, maybe just a little lost her footing, but positive signs coming from Arsenal at the moment in their attack.
Russo. Trying to get that bit more involved as this first half goes on.
Yeah, I think that's important for Russo's game.
Lofted in by Baum.
Sometimes she just needs to drop in, she needs a few more touches, keep herself moving, move that Charlton back line. It's important, you know, some people say that the striker doesn't need to drop in there, but it's important to keep themselves just in the momentum of the game, moving.
Stolen by Neville, who does win the free kick from Battier as well. It's interesting to see Alessia Russo starting in the 10 this evening. It's a role that we saw her play last season. We know that she's more than capable of it, but 24 goals as the leading striker for Arsenal. I suppose these are the opportunities for Renée Slegers to tinker and just see what she can do, especially against, on paper, a lesser side where you know that you're going to dominate possession and perhaps be able to force a few chances, so you're able to have an extra striker on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's, as I said, staying, you know, involved in the game, your movement, but then it allows her, if the link-up play is good, it's allowed, and it goes out wide, there's late runs into the box.
Arsenal again, maybe just those defensive lapses in concentration starting to sneak into the game. Renée Slegers will be keen to put an end to that at half-time. Georgia Stanway this time, who was very nearly guilty of gifting possession straight back to Charlton inside her own penalty area. It's her who's released Baum. Steph Catley will take set-piece responsibility here. Kim Little the short option. 5 to aim for inside the penalty area. Catley can float that one in, and that is an unchallenged claim for Sophie Whitehouse.
Very much so. Again, it was, I'm not sure if it was timing, I'm not sure. Catley raises the hand, drops, but again, no runners coming into that front area, and there was a lot of space. You know, for me, and listen, that was always my game, but set pieces just so incredibly important. No matter what stage of the game, no matter if you are an Arsenal and you know, the absolute quality you have on the ball in possession, set pieces, you really have to be tight, know what you're doing, time your runs.
Bound back for Smina Holmberg. That's clever. Oh, there's Stanway, and that is an excellent finish. The angle was getting ever tighter, and somehow she has managed to beat Sophie Whitehouse from the byline. Arsenal are back level.
Brilliant, brilliant down this right-hand side. Baum, she's been so dangerous. She likes to cut inside the pitch. Inside, favour little reverse pass with her left foot. Again, we just see the build-up play between these two. Perfect little touch out, now exactly it. Stanway with an absolute, that angle to finish, and absolutely intentional. She wasn't looking for Blackstenius, I think she was going for it. Again, so tightly squeezed in. Brilliant late run from Stanway. What she does so well.
Well, she had a chance that she flashed narrowly wide in the game against Paris FC. And Lucy Fitzgerald was able to emerge with the ball there. Arsenal players and supporters were appealing for the handball against her. As I was saying, Georgia Stanway this time around making no mistake when she wants to play through on goal, even from what was a much tougher chance.
Yeah, absolutely, but again, just that deep line. Playing on the back shoulder already, you can see the connection between the two new signings. Bowen and Stanway. Brilliant little reverse pass from Bowen, I have to say.
There's another one, this time by Russo, looking for Caldente. Alicia Endow is able to sniff out the danger. It's the final 10 minutes of this first half, and Arsenal just looking to up the tempo that bit more. Nice feet by Russo. Goal scorer Stanway finding Smila Holmberg. Take for Stanway. Passes up the opportunity to shoot. It's Holmberg who can float another one in, and it was an unchallenged header. Honor Batier arriving late, and she knows she should have done better.
What a way that she really could have marked her debut in front of the home fans. Just not convincing. Didn't attack it with that aggression that she needed. Brilliant chance, really would have got the home fans up on their feet, but again, great ball by Holmberg. Arsenal really getting into the right positions. Charlton a little bit loose now, I think, in the box in terms of marking.
It's Fitzgerald. Chase up against the electric Lisa Baum. He did pull her back. We can certainly judge this first half in segments, can't we? Bit of a slower start from both sides, although Arsenal were dominating possession in the first 20 minutes, but then Charlton really came back into it. It's a lovely turn, by the way, from Kim Little. And now Arsenal seem to have wrestled back control. Holmberg again asked to deliver. Switching flanks. Easy enough for Endow. Only at the expense, though, of another Arsenal corner.
Caldente, she just does it so seamlessly, as you say, switching side to side. She'll also drop centrally. You know, there's been a moment where she's dropped central. It's allowed Kim Little, Stanway to get up even higher up the pitch. And then again, Russo gets to kind of go into that natural number 9 position where she can. So we have 2 9s at times.
Short for Little. Now back with Catley. The angle's better, but it is the same result as the last corner. Ball ends up in Sophie Whitehouse's hands. That one's loose. Russo couldn't keep it under her control. Caldente. Knocked on by Williamson. Stanway. Lovely turn of pace. Enti's ball was a searching one. It was again a routine catch for Whitehouse. away by Catley to her international colleague Van Egmond. And Russo was pulled to the ground. In any other situation, that would be a yellow card. Can't stay in the pocket for these pre-season friendlies, perhaps. And Baum is set away again up against Mason, who once more has stuck to her task.
I think the ref is being kind. I think in these games, Williamson potentially could have also had a yellow earlier on in the game, but it's good. Keep the game flowing. As long as there's no intent in these moments. But again, another chance here from a set piece. Again, timing of runs are critical here. Not really taking advantage of the space left at the front post for me.
It's the same setup as the last two. We've seen one delivered into the box, we've seen one go short. This one once more floated in. There's an Arsenal player who's gone to ground. Sophie Dennington. Deep in discussion with Paola Partido. Not too clear with her decision making there, but it looks as though she has pointed to the spot.
Not very clear here from the ref. As the teams are lining up, to me it does look like it will be a penalty. I think it was Stanway who got fouled potentially. It
was the complete lack of reaction, wasn't it, from both sides as they lined up to take this one. So there is Stanway right in the centre of your frame, and it's Partido who has her hands all over her. She does trip her. It's a good spot by the referee. There was so much going on inside the penalty area.
It is. I have to give it to the ref there. A lot of these fouls, they don't get called, especially when you're maybe a 6-foot defender. They think this shouldn't be happening to you, but it's brave. It's brave to make those decisions, and I think it's right in the game. It's Partido not looking at the ball whatsoever, only following Stanway in a run. Yeah, a good call from the ref. I think for us it just needed to be a little bit more clear as to where she was going with it, but the right decision for me.
It will be Mariona Caldente to step up. Obviously has scored some really important penalties for Arsenal over the years. This one may well not register up among those, but it's good practice nonetheless. Up against a penalty specialist in Sophie Whitehouse, who will go through her usual routine here to try to put off the Spaniards. A reminder, she saved 4 penalties in the shootout victory towards the end of last season in the promotion playoffs. Can she deny a Champions League winner in Mariona Caldente? Caldente steps up and sends Whitehouse the wrong way. And Arsenal have flipped this game on its head. The Gunners lead by 2-1.
Yeah, brilliantly finished from Caldente. Small little stutter up, waiting for Whitehouse to make that move. Just slots it into the bottom left-hand corner. Really, really calm. There was a little bit of time between the foul and the penalty being taken. As you said, this may not come with the biggest pressure in the world, but again, stepping up penalties in these moments, it's great to get them in. She finished it really, really well.
It changes the mood inside the stadium. I'm not sure it will change too much of Renee Slager's half-time discussion. The Arsenal fans certainly that bit more vocal now and able to enjoy themselves. With a bit less stress, I would imagine.
Should be pleased with the reaction. coming into half-time, but again, it takes a moment. It's taken an error for Arsenal to really step it up the gears.
Bound finds Badgier, who evades Neville, and then slips at the crucial moment.
Arsenal needs to just keep taking advantage of these wide areas. Neville has given Batty a lot of space, you know, on that left-hand side. Again, it's how fast can we swing the ball out? Can she get runners on? Unfortunate with the slip, but again, opportunities opening up. Charlton potentially starting to fatigue.
The final 60 seconds then of this first half. Now against Mason once more, exactly how the game started. It's been a really interesting duel between the two of them. She will be tested, won't she, Ellie Mason, throughout this campaign, but she's responded well to the challenge of Lisa Baum. Although it has left space for Holmberg to force another Arsenal corner. Will there be time for one final attack for the Gunners before the interval?
Yeah, I was teammates with Mason at Birmingham City again. Excellent defender, really aggressive, always gets into her duel. But as we say, sometimes it's just about leaving that space. She gets pulled away, she leaves pockets of space. But when she's on and tight, she's really an excellent defender.
Orthodox again by Catley. She swings that one in direct. It was Baum who was climbing, and Charlton momentarily clear their lines. Badier's able to cross in, and Whitehouse will claim. And that will do us for an action-packed first half at Meadow Park. It was Charlton who took the lead against the run of play, capitalising on a lapse in concentration from Arsenal. Lucy Fitzgerald tapping home after being found inside the box unmarked by Emily Van Egmond. It took Arsenal 9 minutes to hit back through Georgia Stanway with her first goal in Arsenal colours before she was then brought down for a penalty which was comfortably and confidently dispatched by Mariona Caldente. Louise Quinn, your thoughts on that first 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's taken, you know, it took that first 20 minutes. I think it was all Arsenal in terms of possession, in terms of how they were, you know, using the football but not creating, you know, many chances out of that. And it was a lapse of concentration at the back and lapse of, you know, communication between Williamson, Catley, Little. And again, Charlton, they took their chance. They were in the right place, right time, well finished. And then from that, I think Arsenal, they went up a gear then. They know that these are the games. For me, this is almost the perfect pre-season game for them. You know, a low block. How can they break it down? And from that, they get a little scare, concede, and then they've upped the levels. Runs in behind have been really critical.
So 2-1 at the interval. Let's take a look at all of the key moments from that first half. Starting with an Arsenal corner, which was taken short. And Caldente only had eyes for goal here, drilling this one just wide of that far post.
Yeah, early stages of set pieces taken short, but dangerous ball from Caldente.
Smila Holmberg has been a really useful outlet, as she often is on this near touch line. She floated the ball into the box, and Lisa Baum would have wanted to work Sophie Whitehouse a bit harder there from that first time strike, I should say.
Yeah, again, Holmberg, she's been putting brilliant balls into the box, really lofted. It's about can, you know, make that late run. Well knocked down. Baum would be disappointed with the finish.
And then this was the moment. Arsenal punished for a lack of communication, uncharacteristically so by their very experienced back line. Lucy Fitzgerald profiting.
Yeah, again, just three players looking at each other, who's going to do the job, take responsibility. Charlton did really well to finish.
Gunners desperate to try and hit back straight away. And the driving force behind it was Georgia Stanway. Kim Little picked up this ball here. Russo playing it through the lines and unable to force an opportunity there. But then, after Little won back possession high up the pitch, she threaded it through for Baum. And again, stinging the palms of Whitehouse before Stanway slipped at the crucial moment. They continue to press, the Gunners. And when Baum got herself into a really good position here, she found Holmberg. There's the return pass back to her, and it was the third player run by Georgia Stanway. With the angle going against her, she was still able to find that bottom corner.
Yeah, the link up down this right-hand side. Holmberg, Baum, perfectly timed run, brilliant reverse pass. Super run from Georgia Stanway, and an excellent finish from there.
A nutmeg as well, wasn't it? Through the legs of Ellie Mason from Lisa Baum. Georgia Stanway continued to be heavily involved as Arsenal looked to go ahead. And Honor Battier won't want to see that one back. But they didn't need to wait too much longer. Georgia Stanway tussling with Paola Partido inside the penalty area. She was thrown to the ground. And it was the correct decision by referee Sophie Dennington to allow Mariona Caldente to slot home from the spot.
Yeah, brave decision from the ref. Usually those calls aren't made. But Caldente there, cool and calm as she always is from the penalty spot. Always a great way again pre-season, practicing these movements coming into the season, but well slotted into the bottom left-hand corner.
So the Gunners then leading by 2-1 going into half-time. Let's head back down to pitch side with Lianne Sanderson, but first Nakeira West.
It is half-time here at Meadow Park, and it is 2-1 to the Arsenal. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, first of all, I think I'm going to stop giving my predictions because I said it was 3-0 before the game. But yeah, I think it's been a really, really competitive game. Exactly what you'd want for a pre-season game. I mean, I think it caught a lot of people by surprise. Charlton went up 1-0, but I think, you know, as the game's gone on, going to see Arsenal going to make some substitutions as well. But I think it's been a really good game. I think the performance has been much better than the game at the weekend. That's not to say it was bad at the weekend, but it just is better today. You can feel like there's a more sharpness, more of a zip around the team.
Charlton are definitely up for it. Like, their keeper, Sophie Whitehouse, she's on fire.
She is, and even on the penalty, she was like screaming, weren't she, to try and put off Mariona Caldente. We were like, who's that?
She did give us a little scream.
Yeah, weird penalty situation though. Like, I'm glad it was given, obviously, and fair play to the ref, but like, it was a bit dubious as well because she would have to see a lot. And then I was saying today that I was wondering if like Georgia Stanway would step up because she's good at pens, but Mariona Caldente, the general, I mean, she's had an unbelievable half.
Honestly, she just looks so silky. Like, everything is under control. You know that when she's got the ball, she's going to do some magic. Even
when she's picking up the ball on the left-hand side, because she's playing on the left today, interestingly enough, but she likes to drift in, as we know. She played a couple of balls and her teammates weren't reading it because they didn't see it. Do you know what I mean? A bit like when Dennis Bergkamp played. You know, like, he used to play balls and it's like, sees things other people don't see. And I'm feeling like she's doing that as well.
Yeah, she's on fire. Like, honestly, she did a little pass in the middle, and I was literally like shocked. And that's the thing about watching the game here at Meadow Park. You're so close to the action.
You are.
Like, it's insane. I feel like, I wonder what it's like for the players, the difference in playing at the Emirates to playing here. Like, how does that
It is much
compare?
louder. Having played at both, I mean, it is much louder here with regards to like the fans being closer. But like, I do like it here because obviously, like we say, with special memories, but the Emirates is amazing. I think it's become a bit of a fortress over the years, especially with the men now winning. You know, I think you have to obviously win games, and that's what makes you have that history at a stadium.
Yeah.
So I personally love both of them, to be honest.
From a like technical side of things, as a player, what is it? What's the difference like?
I mean, the pitch size, 100%. Like, when you ping a ball at the Emirates, you know, you can overhit it. Here, it will hold up. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're pinging balls on the diag out to the left or the right, underhit it. I've seen a couple of times Unabatia has come down his left-hand side and it's just been overhit or been played out. You remember?
Yeah.
You tried to keep it in. It wasn't a bad ball, but at the Emirates, that's where there's more space. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're playing at the bigger stadiums.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the game here is very zippy. It's very fast. Like, it's end-to-end here, really.
It is.
In comparison.
And fair play to Charlton. that they've showed up, you know, because I said it was a high-risk game for them, you know, playing this game so close to the beginning of the season, a team that's just got promoted, but they look good.
Yeah.
They've really hung in there. I think Ash Neville's had a brilliant game down this right-hand side, fantastic 1v1 defender, and I think, you know, for the second half, I expect Arsenal to kind of push on a little bit more, but I'm happy that it's been competitive.
Is there anything that you are looking to see more from the girls going into the second half?
I think maybe I personally love Alessia Russo higher up the pitch.
Yeah.
I like her. I think she can drop in and play balls through, but I just like her closer to goal. Stina Blackstenius, to be fair to us, worked really hard, but hasn't really had much of the ball.
Yeah.
And I think, to be fair to Charlton, they had a lot of the ball as well.
Yeah.
Which caught me by surprise, because at the Paris FC game at the weekend, we were saying, you know, possession was probably about 75% Arsenal. Doesn't always mean you're going to win the game, but I do think, you know, again, in the final third areas, it's still up for grabs. You know, you said to me before the game, I mean, we know Alessia Russo will be in the 9, but I'm saying, like, out wide, you know, be interesting.
It will be interesting. What do you think of Georgia Stanway's goal, of course?
I mean, I'm just happy that we were here to see her first goal for Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, when you get your first one, they all come. But she's turned into a bit of a goal machine. Like, when she was at Bayern Munich, previously when she was at City, they played her every single other position but her own, really.
Yeah.
She's playing left back, right back, everywhere you can think of. Whereas when she went to Bayern, she started adding goals. And I'm noticing she's a little bit higher. When she plays for Lionesses, she's a little bit deeper, different type of role, you know, in that number 8 position. But now for Arsenal, I feel like she can get a little bit higher, because Kim Little's okay dropping deeper to pick up the ball.
It is that is what's nice about pre-season, is seeing people try out different positions and seeing what really is. They get to try something that you never get to see when the season starts.
It was a great finish from Georgia as well.
It was.
Because it was not an easy position. And I do think it probably would have been a pen. I know we've already seen another pen.
Yeah.
But it was a tackle. It probably would have been a penalty, but it went in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So thankfully she was all right. But it was a great finish.
Yeah, and Mariana's pen. Honestly.
I mean, she's one of those players that when she steps up, you know, 9 times out of 10 it'll be a goal.
Yeah.
You just feel it.
Relaxed.
Yeah. Never. She's always chilling, and I love that about her.
Yeah. I do love that about her. Now, what else do I have to chat to you about? Let me have a little think. What can I ask you? Oh,
have you learnt your chant yet? The answer's no.
That's actually what I was going to say.
Post game.
I have not learnt my chant, but don't worry.
You know the chants, but you want to learn a new one.
I want the new ones. Of course, I know the OG.
I know. Because you were saying that before.
Ones. Yeah, but yeah, it's exciting. As I said, we don't get to come here often as Arsenal women's fans, and it is nice to be back. And like, do you know what I love at the end of the game when the young girls come around the side and the players go up to them? It's such a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's what I like about it here as well. I mean, at the weekend there was 2 fans with a massive cardboard cutout of Chloe Kelly.
Yeah.
From like a Vogue shoot. It really was disruptive.
Oh, high fashion.
I know, it was high fashion, and they were shaking it. Unfortunately, Chloe's not here tonight. Wasn't here then, but like, it's great, and I do like that about here. And to be fair, like, it's difficult for the players because, you know, we used to sign every autograph, take pictures, and they still do. But you can't, when they're at the Emirates, they can't sign 60,000 pictures, you know,
impossible.
and take it. So, but I do love the fact that the fans come out in the numbers, especially because it's midweek.
It is midweek.
Like I keep saying, and you know, it's not the easiest
holidays
place to get to.
Yeah, it is really nice. I hope they keep that Chloe Kelly cardboard cutout.
I know. I hope they bring it back again.
I want to see it.
I did give them a little shout out. It was a brilliant one. It was really good.
Wow, I need to have a little look for that online and see if I can find it. But yeah, it is. We're about to kick off again. The girls are coming back out to warm up. But,
looks like they're making a lot of changes as well. Looks like Caitlin Ford's coming into the game.
Love Caitlin.
And I spoke about her at the weekend because I feel like people expected her to move on this season. I like Caitlin Ford, and I feel like her role this year might be a bit more than people expect. Because I think what will happen at the start of the season, certain players will play, but you need the OGs. You need like players that been there, done that, always rely on. No matter if Caitlin Ford's starting or coming off the bench, she always shows up.
Listen, we've got a lot of players like that actually. That like, I know, we've got so many new signings, but we have some serious OGs here that you know that you need them. You need their knowledge, their wisdom, their just sense of calm when things can get a bit ropey, especially because not everyone has played in the WSL before.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, with regards to the blending of the new players, along with this is Olivia Smith's second season with the Arsenal this year, you know, after coming from Liverpool. So I feel like, you know, she's still young, still a very, very young player, but you do need those blend of like leaders that can bring that, because obviously players like Kim Little, people often think, you know, oh, you know, she's going to not play as much this year, but don't ever write Kim Little off, because she'll be that player, like I said pre-game, that when you know she's in your team, everyone else lifts that bit more. And the ability to be able to see things other people don't see. The game slows down. When everyone's frantic around her, the game slows down. And obviously, as you do get older, you do drop a little bit deeper. You need more space to be able to see things.
Do you think that the other players will, as time goes on, they're going to learn a lot from her game?
I think so. I mean, Kim's a type of player that she's not the loudest. She's not a shouter and a hooter and a hollerer, you know. But she leads in a way with her performances. And I feel like, you know, you need that in the team. I mean, along with players like Lotte Wubben-Moy, still, like, young.
I know.
But at the same time, you know, leads in an incredible way. I mean, Lotte's probably one of the most articulate people I've ever spoke to. Like, when she talks and, like, she just gets it. You know what I mean?
Does.
She gets the people that came before. She gets the now.
She's like an old soul, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She is. All right, well, that is all from us now. We are heading back to our amazing commentators, Max Jones and Louise Quinn.
Well, that's very generous, isn't it? Thank you very much, Lianne Sanderson and Nakeira West. Yeah, we don't often get comments like that, do we? Yes, I am back with Louise Quinn again for the second half. Arsenal are making a number of changes at the intervals. You can see there the 4 players who are remaining on the pitch from the first half: Lisa Baum, Smila Holmberg, Alessia Rousseau and Stina Blackstenius, but there will be a whole host of new faces behind them. Louise, while we wait for those to be confirmed, what is it that you'd like to see from Arsenal in this second half?
Yeah, I think, you know, they have to finish, or they have to start this half now as they finished, you know, again, moving the ball quicker, more bodies in the box. I think Holmberg, again, she's been putting really, really dangerous crosses in. It's just about those runners. So again, you know, a lot of changes here, but again, a lot of regulars that we're used to seeing. Really excited to see Reuteler coming into that midfield position. But again, patience, move the ball. You know, challenges, you have to fight for your shirt now. So again, that little bit of fight, little bit of aggression, getting themselves forward. And again, just, we have to tidy up at the back, obviously. Just don't fall asleep. We know Charlton will pounce when they get that chance. But otherwise, it was a really positive end to the first half.
So it looks like a new defensive partnership in Smila Holmberg alongside Lotte Wubben-Moy. It means that we actually have a completely changed back 4, with Taylor Hines on the left-hand side, Emily Fox on the right. Anki Borber has come on in goal as well. And then in midfield, we've got Kyra Cooney-Cross alongside Geraldine Reuteler. And then out on the left-hand side is Caitlin Ford. And just a word as well for Kyra Cooney-Cross.
Yeah, it's just brilliant that she's back with her team, you know, getting valuable minutes now in that, you know, kind of sitting role in midfield. And yeah, for me, it's just brilliant to see her back with her teammates.
Stina Blackstenius just away from goal to find Baum, whose touch lets her down somewhat. Oh, downfield by Mason. There have been a couple of Charlton Athletic changes as well. Full confirmation of those in a moment or so, but for now it's Arsenal in possession. Holmberg out for Baum. Happy to use Emily Fox as decoy to try to reach the byline, but unfortunately ran out of grass.
A strong start from Baum. She really likes to go run at players, and you know, it's not always successful. She's not 100%, but it's just pushing that Charlton back line, going back, gaining confidence.
That's given away. Here's Cooney-Cross, and that one unfortunately swerving well wide of the goal. It was worth a go though.
No, absolutely, and we could see, you know, in this past season or two, and we've seen it for her with Australia, she can hit them from distance. She can be really calm and composed, but just well timed. Unfortunately not on target, but good for her just to get settled into the game.
So first involvement here for Taylor Hines. Back for Lotte Wubben-Moy, who is still sporting the bandage around her head.
Well, she's a centre back, isn't she? It's a classic. It's a look.
This is definitely replicating one of your looks over the years.
Many times.
Maybe that's where you hit the magnet that seemed to attract every single ball to your head, Louise.
Yeah, not wrong.
Partido can carry this one away, and that one's hooked to safety. Wubben-Moy can challenge and get the benefit of the doubt from Sophie Dennington. Very firmly established, isn't she, as a fan favourite here. To Wubben-Moy. It's interesting, she spoke about how sometimes she does have to leave the fact that she is an Arsenal fan at the door. Sometimes it has in the past got the better of her. But she has worked in recent years to just try to separate the two things, and I think we've seen the benefits of that too.
Absolutely. Listen, it's so important to have that love and passion, and she's brilliant at expressing that, and such an Arsenal super fan. But again, it just comes across in her play, the dedication she has towards the team. Moments where she's in and out of the starting 11, but for me, she's ever reliable. Will always step in, to cover where possible, and then when she does start, it's absolutely deserved.
Caitlin Ford was battling away, but was unable to keep that one on the pitch. It's good to see her in an advanced position this evening. She did come on for the final half hour at fullback in a much changed second half side for Arsenal against Paris FC last time out. Just confirmation, the two players that were withdrawn for Charlton Athletic at the interval were Jodie Hutton and Emily Van Egmond. Like-for-like changes for them. And then it's Lorena Azaro, who is currently on loan from Paris FC, and Leah Davidson, a new arrival from the A-League in Australia.
For me, I'll be really interested, looking forward to seeing Reutler position she takes up. She also likes to drift out into wide positions. Has she got that, kind of similar play to Stanway, picking up pockets, runners in behind. Brilliant signing after, especially that Euros in Switzerland. She really, really, put her name out there as an excellent player.
Someone who did spend so long with the same club. 8 years she was at Frankfurt for. But it's a different kind of knock, isn't it, when Arsenal come calling. Here's Emily Fox. Able to get away from Fitzgerald.
Excellent feet.
Now Cooney Cross. Finding the feet of Russo. That's a sharp turn, and it's Blackstenius. And that one straight at Sophie Whitehouse. It's a big chance for a striker of her pedigree.
Yeah, really, really good build of play. Going right through centrally. Cooney Cross to Russo. Blackstenius, she just didn't get that connection on the turn. Really, really good chance for her there.
Good, promising link-up play, though, between Arsenal's two leading goal scorers from last season. I suppose it goes to show just how impressive Alessia Russo's campaign was, that she ended up scoring 10 more goals than Blackstenius, who ended up with 14 herself There is Russo looking to turn provider. Lisa Baum giving chase. And she was well marshalled by Ellie Mason once more.
Yeah, Mason's done brilliant there. Again, sometimes it takes a little bit of a last-ditch challenge, but again, really well timed, not giving Baum that space.
Here's Fox.
Lianne was saying it pitch side for me, Fox. You know what a brilliant signing, brilliant player she's been for Arsenal. And probably one of the best US players to come in, you know, to this league, into the WSL consistently. And for me, it was, you know, Arsenal were in such need of a really consistent right back. You know, and she's absolutely taken that role and made it her own. And as you said earlier, she's in the team of the year at the PFAs, and rightly so.
One of those players who finally got a summer break. Spoken about it quite a lot, but the workload, the scheduling over the past few seasons, in women's football especially, has been so rigorous and unrelenting. But she was able to go back home over the summer. She watched the US men's national team in their home World Cup. It's given her plenty of time to switch off ahead of her third full season at Arsenal, and the Gunners will only go on to benefit from that.
Yeah, I think what a schedule for all players now. Obviously there'll be more games this season, as we've added 2 teams to WSL 1. Schedule will really just be ramped up.
I hope you don't have any plans anymore on Friday evenings, Louise. It's the new slot that's been added in for the Women's Super League season.
It was part of the reason why I retired, but now it's going to be, that's it, like Friday nights at the football. Not a bad place to be.
Cooney cross. Read by Neville. And Dow happy to back herself under pressure from Stina Blackstenius. Another vastly experienced player in there, Alicia and Dow. Now, it's Baum's delivery. Neville away, and then hits first time. That's a screamer, and that may be the loudest cheer that you'll hear at Meadow Park this season, because Kyra Cooney-Cross has scored an absolute rocket.
Wow, what a finish. She has come up. She had one early at the start of the first half. Really good ball into the box, cleared by Neville, but just drops perfectly for Cooney-Cross. Really good ball in by Baum. Decent header clear. It's coming central. What a strike. Gets it. Even a slight little slice outside with the right foot into that top corner. Whitehouse, not a chance. Brilliant. She's well settled back in now.
Lays it in to that top corner. Nothing Sophie Whitehouse could do to get anywhere near that one. Past her before she would have even realised. As you mentioned there, the shape on the shot too, always swerving away from the goalkeeper. Pure technique by Arsenal's number 32.
She does only score worldies. I feel Cooney cross when she does it.
Given away by Roytler. Here's Fitzgerald. That one tidied up by Taylor Hines. Arsenal, though, struggling to keep hold of it. And given the benefit of the doubt there by referee Sophie Dennington.
Charlton with a good press. Again, it's very, reactive now. Concede. What can they do? Can they go forward, get themselves back in the game?
Mason looking down the line for the onrushing Grace Johnston, who also has come onto the pitch. Another summer arrival from Perth Glory. It's the first time she's ever set foot outside of Australia to play football. And Dow will clean up.
Again, intensity of the game has just raised. It's coming in waves. Arsenal still very, very dominant.
Fitzgerald. Her opening goal seems like it was a long time ago as Caitlin Ford's able to win back possession but gets caught in two minds. Wubbemoy. Coming across with space to turn. Whiteler can help it out to Bow. Fancies her chances up against Mason. Johnson well placed to clear. Off goes Fox. Will happily settle for another Arsenal corner.
Yeah, I feel Arsenal, they're doing well now, finding some more straight balls in between the pockets, then going out into wide spaces.
Another couple of alterations then. Lisa Bow and Alessia Russo both leaving the pitch. Another hour under their belts. And Frida Mornham gets her first taste of a pre-season game in front of the Arsenal fans. And on comes the PFA Young Player of the Year, Olivia Smith, whose heroics secured a very late win for Arsenal against Paris FC here on Sunday. Involved straight away, the Canadian. Hines going for goal herself. That one always rising.
Yeah, well worked. Short corner. Was managing to create space. Charlton not getting a second body out to the ball. 2v1 Hines. Again, we know she can strike them. Really, really nice left foot.
Here is Frida Mornham, currently being serenaded by the Arsenal fans in the North Bank here at Meadow Park. Mornham's delivery looking for Blackstenius. It was an early decision made by Whitehouse. She had to get there and she did.
Yeah, Whitehouse, she's done well. Arsenal have been very good getting some of those crosses in from a diagonal position, but Whitehouse, she has been very dominant in the air. You know, height may not be on her side, but again, she just makes a decision. Really dominant in the air, comes through bodies if she needs to.
Named the WSL2's goalkeeper of the season last night's award ceremony. It's a crunching challenge, that one, between Taylor Hines and Ashley Neville. Smith finding Fox. Charlton looking to launch a counter-attack of their own. That one just behind Lorena Rosario. Blackstenius. Nice hold-up play against Endow. Smith facing Mason for the first time, and it's Mason who comes out on top.
For Blackstenius, it's such an important part of her game, and I think something that's really come along is that hold-up play. She knows she's going to have defenders in her back, constantly, and it's about, can she just make sure, use her body right, hold on to the ball, link in her teammates who will hopefully come underneath, keep the flow of the game going. Especially in these low blocks, you really have to make sure you're tidy, patient in that hold-up play.
That's the end of Ciara Flannery's evening. In her place is Lizzie Waldy. A couple more changes as well. Lucia Lobato. Actually, Flannery has been sent back onto the pitch. So maybe just issuing an instruction instead. We'll assume that Sophie Dennington's counted and that there are still just 11 Charlton players on the pitch. It's Alicia Endow who has left the pitch for Lobato. Mornan hooked in, that's a dangerous delivery, and it went all the way through, right into that corridor of uncertainty for both the goalkeeper and her defenders.
Yeah, worked well, really wide there. Fox creating an angle, space, first time back to Monham. Brilliant ball. Keeper wasn't sure whether to come, defenders didn't want to run back, just needed that run across the central defenders for Blackstenius.
Holmberg dovetailing as the right back for Arsenal with Emily Fox. Reutler. Bit of trickery by Olivia Smith. Arsenal were queuing up inside the penalty area. Needed a better touch by Blackstenius.
So much of the play is coming down that right-hand side. The first and second half, I think the link up between, in that first half, Holmberg, Baum was really, really good. Now it's Fox, Smith, Holmberg shall still drift out into that area, but really getting a lot of joy.
Here they go again. Another Arsenal corner.
as we said, brilliant runners, a lot of bodies in the box. They can settle for a corner, but again, can they take advantage?
Have a 2-on-1 here if they can work it correctly. Smith was going to go herself, and eventually it is just whacked to safety by the visitors.
Yeah, a little bit of risk for Charlton there, really leaving it in a 2v1, as you said. Happy, maybe just want that extra body in the centre of the goal. I think when you have players like Olivia Smith, Hines, who can come in off that right, it's a risk. At the moment it's been reward for Charlton, but
here's Roy Tiller. Cooney Cross, scorer of Arsenal's third in quite spectacular style. It's gone for the return. And it's done really well to keep that one in play, although it was pinched away from their Arsenal teammates. Morning can force a throw in off Paola Partido. Morning. Emily Fox encouraged to drive towards goal. Required a low stop by Sophie Whitehouse.
Yeah, really good from Fox. Cuts in, takes it onto her left, drives it low. Whitehouse, she does let it spill a little bit, but again, good power, direction from Fox.
A bit more convincing from the Charlton goalkeeper this time. Hill's side still intent on trying to play the right way. Did spend 11 years on the other side of North London coaching Tottenham before taking over at Charlton in 2021. She's a former defender actually for the club. For 6 years, she reached the FA Cup final on 4 occasions in 5 years. Actually lost to Arsenal in both 2004 and 2007's finals. It's going to mean the world to her to be able to watch her club, the club that she's spent so much of her time at, walk out on that opening day against Liverpool at the Valley. What an emotional occasion that will be for her.
Yeah, she's been brilliant, really. Have come up many times, you know, against her Charlton sides. It was very well organised. I think she does really well, you know, with maybe the budget that they don't have to bring in, and she always has a really well organised, well drilled team, you know, in terms of just being able to, you know, for me they were always as well that team that, you know, never say die, behind in games, always managed to fight back into it, and, you know, coming up with a result against Leicester in the playoff spot, incredible. All odds were against them in that, and, you know, that really is down to her. I think she really has, you know, the respect of her players and how she wants to play.
There's another look at that opportunity there for Emily Fox. The most convincing of saves by Sophie Whitehouse, but I suppose it was just as effective. Denied the American a rare goal. It's a nice pass between the lines to find Morner. He was unable to pick out forward on the run. Henry still busy in that midfield. Former West Ham United youngster. Actually recently signed a 3-year deal with Charlton to join permanently. It's the longest contract in their club's history. Shows they are moving in the right direction, that they are able to lock down these players on those longer term contracts and protect their futures as well.
Yeah, it's so important for the players as well. You know, for so many years, you're getting 1-2-year contracts, uncertainty of your future, and sometimes that can come across in teams. You know, players have that real uncertainty, but a really big statement from Charlton doing that.
Smith was looking for the onrushing Mornham. Final touch came off Lizzie Waldy. So another Arsenal corner imminent. Only once though, they have completed another change, and that's Stina Blackstenius leaving the field. And being replaced by Selina Cerci, who did of course start against Pires FC. She impressed with her off-the-ball movement. She didn't get too many touches off the ball. She has 16 minutes or so to get herself involved in this game against Charlton. Starting with this corner, which goes short again. Smith, head down to the byline. Lotte Wubbenmoyer was waiting. It's going to come for Holmberg. It took a ricochet on its way through. Whitehouse had to adjust, but she was able to prevent that ball from beating her again.
Again, that 2v1 from corners in the wide area. Arsenal really getting joy. Getting some really, really dangerous balls in the box. Drops for Holmberg very well. Decent strike through a lot of bodies. Whitehouse just about palms it away. But again, can they pounce on that second ball, Arsenal? Keep the ball alive.
There's Wubbenmoyer. Every single Arsenal outfielder now incredibly high up inside the Charlton half. Really trying to suffocate them as this game goes on. It's exactly how they've been able to win back possession again. So important, of course, that Arsenal do begin the season as quickly as possible, knowing that they play their 3 closest WSL rivals in the first 5 games of the season, in Manchester United, Chelsea and Manchester City. Here's Ford drifting in field. And it was speculative from Smila Holmberg.
Yeah, it's really trying to break down a block at the moment. This is the chance earlier. Control through a lot of bodies. Sophie Whitehouse, she does well. She'd hope to hang on to that ball, but again, it's about reactions. Again, which we see a lot of that from Russo. Pound second ball. Same with Blackstenius.
Well, this should be a nice reaction for Carla Humphrey. And the substitution is announced. Former Arsenal player, of course, came through the academy, spent 12 years with the club. And she has just signed a new longer-term deal with Charlton, having given birth to her first child. An incredible achievement just to get back onto the pitch after all of the impact it will have on your body off it, but she will be a key player for Charlton this season in that central midfield area.
Yeah, incredible to see her back after such a long time out, and that, you know, phase back into play, you know, off the pitch being around. But I think, you know, she also now has that freedom now, the joy of, you know, being a parent now, and football is, it is what it is, and she can really go and enjoy it and be able to bring, you know, bring her daughter on the pitch. What a moment.
Back to where it all began. She's a very good friend as well of Leah Williamson. Two of them came through the Arsenal Academy together, won numerous FA Youth Cups.
Say it's a testament to the club as well, being able to go through, you know, recovery and phase back into play. It's really, really good to see Charlton making sure she's back and she's fit.
Here she is now. The most sympathetic of passes back to centre back. I do wonder how you would have dealt with that one, Louise.
It would have been a boot, I'm sure, to safety.
It's Holmberg. Pace of play just dipping as we approach this final 10 minutes here. Arsenal knowing that they've done the job against the new team, although a familiar team in the WSL. Holmberg, charged down. Flannery behind that one. Given away by Hines. Flannery's touch let her down. Hines able to nip back in, and Arsenal on the front foot once more. Wubben-Moy. Whittler. Neville slides across, only at the expense of an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, good build of play. We haven't seen much of the ball down this left-hand side. Caitlin Ford trying to get herself, you know, also involved in that game. Just to come off the left. Come inside onto her favoured right, but again, set pieces. What can they do? How can they be creative?
So a much deeper delivery. Hooked back in by Holmberg. Ornament was challenging at that far post, and then Charlton won't take any risks. Lucy Fitzgerald.
Arsenal know they need to see out the game well in control, but these, you know, these are perfect moments that they faced so much last season. Lower blocks really found it hard to break that down. So they need to take these moments, use it to their advantage. Obviously, you know, play safe, don't, you know, get themselves into unnecessary challenges coming in, but really important now how they shape up, how they break it down.
Here's Holmberg. Out for Hines. Quick feet by Mornham. Cooney Cross lining up another. As we said, she doesn't score many. When she does, they tend to be spectacular. It may have been asking a bit too much for two in one game.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's important coming down in these, facing a deep block. You have to be creative. Can you shoot from distance? Again, it's not bad. She just needed to get it out of her feet a little bit more. A bit too high, but why not try two in a pre-season game? Why not?
Something perhaps we've not seen too much of from players in Arsenal shirts, perhaps even going back to Jordan Nobbs, who always used to look up. Her first thought was always, can I test the goalkeeper from here?
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to Jordan yesterday, and we were reminiscing, just about the days, but again, that was it. You just knew if she could create herself any little gap of space. Incredible strike of a ball.
Jordan, of course, having a great into her career up at Newcastle. Named in the WSL2 Team of the Season and the PFA as well, as this latest cross comes in. And Lorena Rosario will buy her side a very cheap free kick. So Brighton first up for Arsenal, 11 days' time. The Gunners will be away to them at midday on Sunday, September the 6th, UK time. Of course, it is a fixture that brings up some pretty grim memories of the meetings last season. There was the FA Cup quarter-final loss in April, followed a month later by the 1-1 draw in Crawley, which secured the title for Manchester City. Had the summer to work on things, to learn and ensure that there will be a different approach for those situations coming into the new campaign. And I guess looking at the Arsenal side that we see out there in terms of the starting 11, but also the substitutes who have come on, this team definitely has more of a Renee Slager's feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it takes that time, and to really cement, and for her to get a good 3-4 windows to really adapt to change. And you've seen some massive characters, brilliant players leaving in Beth and Casey, and it's how do you replace them in terms of quality, but in terms of personality and leadership. And for me, it's been a very, very positive window. I think we've found players now, especially with massive experience in the German league. Churchy, it's really good. She's been, come from Hoffenheim, top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. Be really important for her to find her feet. Where can she come in? But again, they've bolstered that front line, which they've needed.
Oh, that was a bit of a tester for the Charlton back line. Whitehouse, I think it was, who managed to get her hands to it to get it clear. Whipped in. Fierce delivery towards that near post.
Yeah, it's what me and Jordan were also talking about last night. Sometimes, I'd be fuming at her when they would take a short corner. And I'm saying, just whip it.
It's a long old way to run back, isn't it?
Yeah, GPS used to be flying.
Get nosebleeds every time you go up. Here's Lobato. That has almost been Charlton's second half in a microcosm there. Every time they have been able to get themselves back on the ball, just been unable to string a few passes together. They did, of course, have that really promising period of play midway through that first half. Since then, it has been all Arsenal who have just been able to chip away at them patiently and professionally. is what has allowed them to turn this game around. Going a goal down inside the opening 25 minutes to having a commanding and unassailable lead now. Bit of a nasty one that from Neville on Cooney cross.
No intent there from Neville. She's always been, you know, that sort of a player not to back out from a challenge. Hopefully it's just maybe just a little bit of studs down the leg, and Cooney cross doesn't, you know, come out of this injured, but I think she just hopefully just has to shake it off.
Just over a minute remaining. Arsenal go short. Ford gets around Neville. And there is Churchy. The shot was blocked. Smith will go for goal. And she's fired in. Another beauty. Same stadium at the same end. And it's the same result. A much more convincing Arsenal win this time around. But she will leave the pitch with a big smile on her face once more.
Again, what a great few days for Olivia Smith. She's had a flyer of a pre-season. Ford doing really well down this left-hand side. Churchy trying to get her shot off. Again, just what a strike through so many bodies. I feel like Whitehouse, she sees it late. But again, she just gives Holmberg the shout, out of the way, let me strike this. Really, really clean strike. What a brilliant few days for her.
Just goes to show, doesn't it? Sometimes it is just best to put your foot through it. A sea of bodies, nothing that Sophie Whitehouse could do. As you said, she probably saw it late. Goodness me, didn't she connect with it well, Olivia Smith?
Brilliant how she's showing it again.
Here's Reuteler. Arsenal going in search of a fifth.
It's only positive. Olivia Smith even coming towards the end of games, still pushing forward. All these last minute goals, strikes, and to show that, you know, Arsenal will play till the end.
Well, hearing that Mariona Caldente will be joining Lianne and Nakeira pitch side after the game, so make sure you don't go anywhere at the end of this match. Plenty of content still to come. And Arsenal's magic number 8. Here's Mornham. Space to turn and angle the shot, and it's another beauty this evening. And Frida Mornham has wasted no time in getting herself back into action. She missed Paris FC with a knock. She returned for this second half, and she has picked out the top corner to perfection.
What a finish to this game. Absolutely brilliant pass from Wubben Moy through the lines. Great turn from Manham. She knew where the goal was. Such a similar strike to Olivia Smith the other night. Just tries to curl it outside, just inside that right post. Brilliant finish. Brilliant for her to be able to come on, get her minutes after, you know, a minor knock. Again, make that impact on a game.
Just out of Whitehouse's reach. Again, another great example of the technique on display in this Arsenal team. She opened her body up, knew exactly where she was going to place it, and she did just that. Scored 10 goals last season, Mornham. She's on the run again here. Only to be thwarted this time by couple of Charlton defenders. And Arsenal are penalised there. Well, it is an emphatic win for Arsenal to close out their pre-season preparations. Brighton very much on the horizon, and they will be the full focus of their attention for the next 11 days. But for now, they have done their job against Charlton Athletic, and they have done so in style. 3 goals in each half, but the second half was really where the Gunners started to take the game away from the Addicts. Fantastic finishes by Kyra Cooney-Cross, Olivia Smith and then Frida Mornham in the closing stages, meaning that the Gunners hit 5 goals past the WSL newcomers as they conclude their pre-season campaign ahead of the new term. Louise Quinn watched alongside us tonight, and Louise, what are your main takeaways from tonight's performance?
Yeah, just a really professional performance. I think a super important game for them in terms of how do they play against this low block, patience. You know, they were able to make many changes, you know, almost the entire starting 11, giving everyone valuable time. And you know, we see those regulars, obviously Stanway getting her first goal for the club. You've got Caldente, Manham, Smith, Cooney-Cross, you know, well experienced in this Arsenal team. And for me, they, you know, finished out the game brilliantly, really patient, you know, going out wide but then cutting through centrally, which can be really difficult to do in, you know, in that low block. And just a really professional performance from Arsenal.
11 days, as I mentioned, until the opening day of the season for Arsenal. So which of those players do you think are nailed on starters? Because they've made it so difficult for Renee Slagers. In fact, I'll tell you what, we'll come back to that, because right now we're going to play out some highlights before we hear from Mariona Caldente. So Arsenal starting off on the front foot. Smina Holmberg getting to the byline, putting in a really tantalising cross. And Lisa Baum unlucky to see her shots straight at Sophie Whitehouse. And then right down the other end of the pitch, there was a lapse in communication, uncharacteristically from some very experienced campaigners in the Arsenal 11, which led to Lucy Fitzgerald giving the visitors the lead against the run of play inside the opening 25 minutes here. Then, right down the other end of the pitch, Arsenal very keen to get themselves back into the game. And Georgia Stanway trying to bundle her way through. That penalty appeal turned down. And Arsenal very patient and persistent in their build-up play. Kim Little winning the ball back high up the pitch, finding Lisa Baum, a couple of touches to take it away from the defender and force Whitehouse into another save before Stanway sent that one wide of the goal. She didn't have to wait much longer though, Stanway, before she was able to make her impact. Again, Arsenal attacking down the right hand side with Baum. Smina Holmberg keeping things alive with an option. And just watch this run here from Stanway and the finish to match 2. From a really tight angle, her first goal in Arsenal red and white. She will add so much dynamism to this Arsenal midfield as we go into the new campaign. Oh, it seemed an impossible angle under pressure from both the goalkeeper and a defender. And she was heavily involved in the creation of the chance for the second as well. Pulled down by Paula Partido inside the Charlton penalty area. Sophie Deddington pointed to the spot. Mariona Caldente then did what Mariona Caldente does best. Arsenal had their noses in front for the first time this evening, turning the game on its head. And then, as we got into the second half, they continued to press high up the pitch. It's given away to Kyra Cooney-Cross. This was her sighter. The first shot towards goal. And she ensured the next time that she had an opportunity, it wasn't going to go to waste. That was after Stina Blackstenius stung the palms of Sophie Whitehouse with a low effort, combining really nicely with Alessia Russo. That was a really nice inviting ball into the box, and this was where Kyra Cooney-Cross struck, running at the ball and hitting it with full velocity into that top corner. An unstoppable strike from the Australian. How many times are we going to see this from her in Arsenal and Matilda's colours? Arsenal continuing to press and probe late on. They were having lots of joy from these short corner routines. And it was Smila Holmberg this time. I was unlucky to see her shot saved. Good work from Caitlin Ford on the left-hand side. Churchy turned, tried to shoot, and then it was just hammered in for a fourth with a minute to play by Olivia Smith. 2 goals in as many games for her at Meadow Park in these final 2 pre-season friendlies for Arsenal. And then with the clock ticking down right at the end of this game, there was time for one final foray forward for Arsenal. And it came from a very familiar source of goals in Frida Morning, picking up the ball on the edge of the penalty area and then just able to float that into the top corner. Whitehouse got a hand to it, she couldn't get there at full stretch though, as Arsenal were able to round off this display with a 5th goal to take it well and truly beyond Charlton Athletic, who did, it must be said, put up a decent fight in the first half. They had a positive spell, and Arsenal were able to ride that out and then just produce a professional display to really dispatch of the WSL newcomers. That's all for myself and for Louise Quinn, as now we head back down to pitchside with Nakeira West and Lianne Sanderson.
Is it 5-1? That is the end of the game. 5-1. What a game.
Wow. I mean,
some goals there.
Some bangers. I mean, Kyra Cooney-Cross's goal was absolutely, I was off my seat.
Yeah.
Off my seat.
You actually were.
It was amazing. Livia Smith's banger as well. Frida Mornham's goal was excellent. I thought the keeper could have done a bit better, but we'll forgive her because the second half, her goal just got peppered, didn't it? And I feel like
absolutely
the goal in the quality, I think to be fair to Charlton, they hung for the first half, but the quality just shone through. They're also, I hate it when you say there's positives to take for Karen Hills and her team when you lose 5-1, but they can take positives from the fact that they stayed in the game for about 50, 60 minutes. Yeah. But the frightening thing is, I feel like Arsenal could have gone up another 2 gears.
They could have, but their keeper, listen, I know she let in quite a few goals in the end, but she saved a lot.
Yeah, they dropped in quite deep in the second half, and I feel like maybe they got tired, or I mean, the quality from Arsenal was just obviously going to be a lot better. But I thought in the first half, Charlton did really well. Arsenal's quality in the second half, I mean, I don't think they had a shot on target.
Yeah.
And every time they cleared the ball, Charlton, Arsenal came straight back to them. And to be fair, Arsenal did make 5 substitutions at half time.
Yeah, and maybe that was what was in it, the fresh legs that came on, and you know, they're able to study a bit of the game in the first half and see what they might want to impact when they come on.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what you do when you're on the bench, you know, and usually in pre-season, you'd be told, you know, you're going to come on at half-time, those types of things.
Yeah.
In the league, as a striker, you think, okay, if I'm on the bench, I might come on after 60, 70 minutes. But in pre-season, usually you know what you're going to play. So you think, okay, give me half a game, and then we'll come out the game unscathed.
Yeah, yeah. I did learn a song. It's not for a new player.
Okay, go on.
It's for a favourite of mine, and it goes, freedom on 'em, freedom on 'em, ole, ole, ole.
Okay.
I'm cheating.
No, but you're not cheating because I hadn't heard that one before.
No.
And they had 2 for her as well.
They did. The songbook is massive.
I know, they're amazing. They're at North Bank behind the goal, like, incredible.
They are solid.
Incredible.
And we've also got some Dolly playing in this stadium today. Rest in peace,
yeah,
of course.
legend.
We're struggling to not start singing, to be honest with you. We can do a double act.
You're better singer than me, but I can dance.
Okay. I don't know the lyrics.
I've danced on M5 before. I did Spice Girls.
You
and
did.
Yeah, apparently it was a hit, but I felt embarrassed.
Do you know what? Spice Girls, you should never be embarrassed by that. They would never be embarrassed. So you've got to take a leaf out of their book, I suppose. Now, we're going to have some extra special people joining us, which I think might be happening right now. We have the amazing Mariona Caldente joining us. Hello.
Okay.
How are we?
Good to see you.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
How's things?
Good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
What a
all
penalty also. Sorry.
good. Yeah, I mean,
How do you do it, though? Because every time you step up, Mariona, right, we're just like, it's a goal. Like, you just know you have that, like, confidence about you.
well, I do have confidence on my penalty. I know, like, sometimes probably I'm going to miss it. That's part of the game, but I just hope it's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the PFA Awards. You were there last night. What is it like for you to be recognised by your peers? How does it feel?
No, I think it was like a lovely night, a lovely event. I think the PFA organized. Like, I have been there now 2 years, and I think it's a lovely night, and I'm grateful to be there. And when your teammates and the players you play against like vote for you, I think that's the most beautiful thing that can happen.
Yeah.
I think as well, like, since you've come to England, you haven't skipped a beat, right? It's quite difficult. I've played in other countries to adjust, but you just seamlessly adjusted to this football club. Like, what is it you love about playing for Arsenal?
I think like the intensity and the purpose we have. Like, I love the high rhythm. I love that we want to have the ball. We want to be dynamic. We want to move. We want to dominate the game. We want to attack, and that's how I love football. And I think I can express myself here. Everyone make it so easy for me.
And this season, there's big expectations, new signings. You missed out on the WSL last year by 4 points. What can we expect this season from Arsenal?
I think our wish is just to be more consistent, because I think we showed last year like we have great moments and we can do it so well in some games, but we need to do it every single game, because like every team is so hard to play, and we cannot just drop points drawing again. So I think that new signings we had, like, it gives us a lot of deeper squad, a lot of different qualities. So it's high expectation, but we want to make it.
Feeling confident going into the season then?
I mean, yeah, I see what we have, how we're training, how the preseason is going. Then, of course, all the teams are going to say the same, because everyone wants the same. But I think we have a really, really good squad. We have a lot of qualities, how I said, and we are working hard, and hopefully, like, we can do big things.
I believe in you, Kel.
Yes.
I do believe in you.
Top quality. I mean, talking of the signings, Georgia Stanway, Reuters coming, Unabatier as well. How have you found them, kind of? Because they look like they've been here for ages already.
Yeah, I think, like, for example, George and Ona, like, they are experienced players already, that they don't need much time. But even like with Lisa, with Selena, with Kerry, like, all of them are like really good players. Of course, you need a bit time when you arrive, but we try to make it easy for them. Like, we will need them, and they are great players.
And obviously competition for places this season, it's what you need, isn't it? You come from a fantastic club in Barcelona where every single day in training being tested. How important is that to have that strength in depth?
Yeah, of course. We have a lot of games. The season is long. Injuries happen. Private things happen. Like, I think that that will make us stronger for sure. Like, training need to be better, and games need to be better every 3 days. So I think like that will help us.
Well, we won't hold you too long. Thank you for
Thanks for
having a little
us.
chin wag with us.
So
Thank you.
Good luck.
All
See you
the best
later.
of luck.
See you later.
Oh, she's
Just
so
love
lovely.
her.
I
Just love
know.
her.
Honestly.
You underestimate, right, playing in other countries as someone that's played in different places. It takes a while. But since she's been at this football club, I was so grateful she came.
Yeah.
And then to not only that, beat your former club in the Champions League final, like, in your first season.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Listen, you can't write those type of things. It's just the beauty of
World
the
class.
game. Yeah. She's amazing. And she's so humble. She's so, like, talking to her about that absolute banger of a penalty. And
I
she's
know.
just like, yeah.
I know. And especially as well, like, this second year at the PFA, and she always spoke about, even on last night on stage when I was there, she spoke about the fact that it's voted for by your fellow professionals. Like, that is one of the biggest honours you can ever have, you know? Yeah, the fans matter. We know that. We love the fans. But, like, when it's from the people that play against you week in, week out, it's that little bit of added extra kind of gratefulness.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's like, I'm trying to like think about how I can relate to that. I feel like it's at school, like, I don't know, when you would have to go and get an award, but you know that your classmates might have voted for you, so you feel a little bit like, thanks guys. Like, it feels extra special.
It is. I mean, I got Player of the Year at this football club before when I was here, and I still hold it in high regard.
Yeah.
You know, like, I still got the trophy, and like, it was voted for by my teammates, player. So, yeah, it was a lovely feeling.
Okay, I've just got a random thought that's popped into my head. It's random, but you need to shout out your mum, because she's
Shout out
watching.
to my mum. Yeah, big up mum. She used to do all the merchandise for the club
Yeah.
and wash the kit when we're in the
That
underage
is
group.
such an amazing
She'll love
story.
that. It is.
Like,
Mum.
honestly.
She used to run the merchandise stall behind there, sell all the Arsenal women merchandise. She loved it as well. Absolutely loved it. Every game.
Yeah.
And then she went from when I was in the under 10s to the under 16s. She used to wash the kit. And it was brilliant. Yeah, she loves it. And she's watching every single show.
Bless
So,
her.
yeah, shout out to my mum.
Shout out Mumsy. Come on, each and every time. She's essential to this Arsenal legend right here. Honestly.
It's true.
Right, now, how good is it also to have Kyra Cooney back?
Oh,
It's so amazing.
it is. And
But-
to see the reception she got as well at the weekend. And, you know, yeah, that goal, I mean, like I said, I was up. Everyone else is like, see, I was like, I love stuff
Yeah, I think
like
you
that.
even turned around.
I
You
did.
said,
I was like this. I was like, that is like,
It was
I appreciate that. Because she
crazy.
also, like, the way she cut across it, like that technique for it to come out, like the technique to be able to cut across the ball like that. And you know, there's some of these strikes, as soon as they leave your foot, you know it's in. And that was one of those ones. And Olivia Smith as well, who's looking sharp. Like, really, really sharp. 2 goals already in back-to-back games, like, picking up an award last night. I think this is going to be a big season for her.
I reckon so.
Big season for her.
honestly, that goal.
And a lot of pressure, you know.
It
A lot
is.
of pressure on Olivia Smith because everyone often thinks about, oh, this much money, the price tag. But like I said, let her football do the talking.
And she's doing that.
She's doing well.
She is doing that. But so many goals, so many great goals, absolute bangers in this second half. Honestly,
Yeah.
it was nuts. It was
And
actually
it
nuts.
was just an onslaught, really. I mean, Charlton couldn't get out of their own half. And, you know, they just peppered the goal. And they were shooting from distance. Taylor Hines had a couple of them.
Yeah.
Olivia Smith did as well. You know, everybody was striking. But it was like purposeful strikes. It wasn't just like meaningless ones, you know?
No.
So, yeah.
And even like Kyra, she came out onto the pitch. She was on fire, and she even took a shot early on. Nothing really came of it, but then she was here for business.
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic goal. I'm going to watch that back a few times tonight, I think.
In bed. That's the one that you're going to look at in bed when you get into bed. Yeah, it was nice. Now, I was saying earlier how much I love this stadium. Surprise! I said it again. But you could hear the kids screaming for Alessia, screaming for Leah. It's just such a beautiful thing to see.
It is, and also, like, just in our far corner, we got the Charlton fans as well, and all the players went over there.
Yeah.
You know, they're a small minority, but, yeah, these fans were amazing. And I think every single year, you just see different types of fans coming as well. You know, you see there's a young boy over there holding up a sign saying, "Gonna have your boots, Alessia." Do you know what I mean? Like, there's, like, young boys with shirts on with the Alessia Russo on the back or Chloe Kelly, and that's not something you used to see back in the day. So I just feel like, and the songs, and it's just a great place to come to, honestly.
It is.
Good vibes.
It is. And, you know, speaking about where you see the women's supporters growing, I saw someone actually at a festival, and it was that Lauryn Hill festival, actually. A guy, Arsenal Women's Football Club, on the back of his top. And it was so beautiful to see. I got so gassed, I took a picture.
I love that.
Like, I've not done anything with the picture, but I just needed to capture the moment, because to see how vast this game is growing and the different groups and pockets of people that it's drawing in is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, times have changed. I mean, I remember when I used to walk down the street in my football kit, and everyone used to stare.
Yeah.
I was like a zoo animal. Do you know what I mean? Because I had a shirt on, and it was unheard of. You're the only girl playing on an all-boys team, and the fact there's opportunities there for young girls and boys to aspire to be these players, it's amazing. They're role models, and sometimes you don't choose to be a role model.
Yeah.
Just fall into that.
Yes.
And there's a lot of pressure that comes with that.
I can imagine.
And sometimes, you know, some people can handle the pressure. I loved pressure. But there's a lot of expectation.
That doesn't surprise me.
There's a lot of expectation on a lot of these players, you know,
Yeah.
to sign every autograph, to everything. They can't do everything.
Yeah.
They can only do so much. But what I do know is they always put on a show.
Yeah. Well, I think we have another extra special guest joining us in the distance, if you can see her. I'm trying to do like a little comedy act here.
She's ready.
Look back. Oh, she's coming. She's making her way. Of course it is Renee.
Drum roll.
Yeah, we need a drum roll on this one.
Come on in. Good to see you again. You all right?
I don't have any hands. We can go. Yeah. How are you, first of all?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm happy with performance tonight.
I mean, 5-1.
Yeah, and those last goals, they came late, but I think typical for a game like this where we have to break things down and then the opposition gets tired in the end and spaces open up. I'm also happy that we start shooting from the edge of the box.
And Renee, how important is it, like 5 different goal scorers? I know a win's a win, but there was 3 goals in that second half that were absolute bangers. I mean, Kyra's goal was incredible, Olivia's goal, but 5 different goal scorers says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we have so much quality in the squad. If you see the team in the first half, the team in the second half, how everything just clicks. I think we've grown throughout pre-season with the partnerships and relationships, connections. You can see it starts clicking now. We start to understand each other. But yeah, there's so much quality across the squad. So we've said to the players, bring your super strengths, and we need to shoot more. We need to test goalkeepers more.
Yeah, because we noticed in the second half, I mean, it was a complete onslaught on that goal. Was that one of your key messages at half-time to say, like, take more strikes from distance?
Well, I have to be honest with you, it wasn't one of the key ones in half-time, but it was one of the key ones post-Pires FC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it worked. Because it was nuts. Our heads were swinging. We couldn't believe what was going on.
I was up off my seat, off of Kyra's goal. I was up.
Yeah,
I was like,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for you, I mean, it's a great job that you have strength in depth now, but you have so much quality. I feel like the signings that were made this summer were proper marquee signings. Like, you must be delighted with the squad you've been able to put together.
Yeah, absolutely. I said it to the players today. Like this squad. Dream squad for me, so I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we got it into this place. We need this quality to be able to compete on all fronts, and just the characters and how they've integrated into the team so quickly, and not only the 7 new players but also the players that have been here. They've done an amazing job to make the team gel together so quickly, and I'm really happy. It's a pleasure to work with them.
And just touching on the PFAs last night, we had big representation there for the girls. How proud are you of them, and of course of Olivia Smith?
Yeah, she gets her peers recognition for a second time, I think 2 years in a row. So I think that always sits high with players, that they get recognition from their colleagues, and it's well deserved. She's a young player, and she's now in her 2nd season with us. She's done her 1st season. We know that, especially as a young player, to come in at Arsenal, it's overwhelming, and we ask a lot of things. And now she's going into her 2nd season, so she's settled, and there's so much more to come from Olivia, I think. And then of course Foxy Les and Mariona, Team of the Year, amazing achievement as well, picked by their peers, and it says something about them. It says something about us as a team, that we have players that thrive and excel like that.
And Renee, for all the Arsenal fans that are watching, right, last season was so close, but so far 4 points behind Manchester City. Can we be excited for this season? How excited can we be?
Yeah, very excited. Hopefully you've seen us grow. I think you saw the steps that we took from Pires FC towards today, and then we've seen all those steps been taken throughout pre-season. So we're building. We are very, very positive about what we can achieve, what we can do this year, and we want the fans to be with us. And there's such a big part of what we want to do. You felt it tonight again. So please be with us on the journey.
And lastly, are you ready for Brighton?
Well, yeah, we're getting ready. It's not tomorrow, right? So some time left. So of course, more to work on, and we want to get even better in certain things and details, and then being super specific with how we want to attack that game against Brighton. So not there yet, but soon, yeah.
I love that. We still got work to do, guys. Love
Typical
that.
manager. Wouldn't have it any other way.
All right.
Nice to see you. See you later.
Thank you.
Shake your hand now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Renee.
Thanks, Renee.
Oh, I love Renee.
Oh, love them both.
No, I do. Genuinely.
Amazing
You know when
stuff.
people say I love that person, but you think, do they? We love Renee. We love Renee.
We do. We need to get a shirt made. We love Renee.
We do.
Merch team. Sort it out. All right, that is all from us, but we'll be back on Monday for live commentary on the Arsenal versus Villa away game at Villa Park.